the NFL on CBS. Today's game is sponsored by Ford and your Ford dealer, who invite you to see and test drive the all-new LTD and Mustang. Light beer, everything you always wanted in a beer and less. Alcoa, producer of energy-saving aluminum. And by Sylvania, makers of Superset Color TV and a complete line of home entertainment products.
Welcome to Shea Stadium on a cool, blustery day in New York City as the Dallas Cowboys battle the New York Jets in an NFL interconference game. Hi, everybody. I'm Frank Lieber along with Tom Matte. No division titles at stake today, but nevertheless, could be an interesting ball game featuring two fine young quarterbacks.
Well, we got Matt Robinson on the one side. Last week had a great game against the Cleveland Browns, completed 22 of 44 passes for 289 yards. He had 3 touchdowns, but he had 4 interceptions. He's also vying for a very important role next year as that #1 quarterback, and he's got to do a good job to end up the season. And with this kind of weather we're having here today, Frank, we're going to have some fun.
Danny White will be starting at quarterback for the Cowboys. He's waited 43 games to get a starting nod. Roger Staubach will not play today, so it's a big opportunity for Danny, the third-year man out of Arizona State. And the wind is blowing, gusts up to 50 miles per hour today.
It puts pressure not only on the quarterback, but on the receivers on concentrating on catching that football and also on the kicking game. So it's going to play a big factor today in this game, and it should be really exciting.
All right, let's go to it. Kickoff time here at Shea Stadium this afternoon between the Cowboys and the Jets. And as you can see, the Jets have won the toss of the coin and have elected to receive. And the Cowboys will be kicking off, and Dallas will have the wind at its back here in the first period of play, and that's going to be a big factor. Cowboys in white and the Jets in green. No matter what happens, the Jets really have had a great year. If they win this football game, they could wind up on the plus side of the ledger for the first time since 1969 with the youngest football team in the NFL. They average 24 years of age and less than 2 years per man experience in the NFL, going up against the defending Super Bowl champion Dallas Cowboys. There's Rafael Septien, Cowboys place kicker. Darnell Powell will be one of the deep men along with Bruce Harper. Harper's a guy to watch on kick returns. He's the all-purpose rushing and return leader in the NFL on the right of your screen. Little guy from Kutztown State, Doug Dennison's old school in Pennsylvania. Jets have done a great job with a lot of low-round draft picks. Here's the whistle, and here we go. Ben Dreith, the referee. It is Harper at the 7-yard line. Back to the 15, 20. Dennis Thurman on the stop for the Cowboys at the 30-yard line. So the Jets will put it in play, 1st and 10 from their 30-yard line. And we'll set the offense for you. Here's the Jets offensive line. Those 2 tackles aren't shabby, are they?
They're not shabby at all.
A couple of great young prospects. Chris Ward, the #1 draft pick last year. Powell, the #1 draft pick the year before. Jet receivers, and Walker is a guy to watch.
You know, Frank, they can come out with these play-action passes. You'll be able to watch this right now. They'll probably come out with it because they're going to really, all holds are loose today, baby. There it is.
Robinson throwing right off the bat. Pass is dropped by Derek Gaffney, number 81, the intended receiver. Cliff Harris on coverage down near midfield.
Not a bad call, was it?
No, it wasn't a bad call. That sounds like you must know somebody in the Jets organization, Mr. Matte.
I think I did. That helps.
There's the Dallas defensive front four. Randy White this year seems to be everybody's all-pro. He's had a sensational year for the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboy linebackers. Henderson has been bothered with a strep throat this week. And the Dallas deep backs. 2nd and 10, Jets. Matt Robinson. Straight handoff. Nothing fancy there is Scott Durking, number 25. Randy White on the stop.
He's all over that field. He's had a great year this year. He's right down from my neck of the woods, Frank, down in Maryland down there.
Officiating crew today headed by the referee Ben Dreith and his crew. Jets operating against the wind here. Gusts up to 45 miles per hour. Temperature is in the 30s. It rained last night. Partly cloudy this afternoon. Field in good shape. They had it covered. Matt Robinson being chased by Mike Hagman. Gets the pass away, and it's almost intercepted at the 38-yard line. Charlie Waters was over there. There's Hagman. Hagman is starting today in place of Thomas Henderson at the linebacker position. As we mentioned, Henderson missed a good part of the practices this week because of his strep throat. So Hagman getting the starting nod. Jets will be punting here. Chuck Ramsey, their punter. One of the big problems with the wind actually is in dropping the ball to your foot, isn't it?
It is. The thing will, just fall off to the right, and that's where you get to shank these things. That's why they've really got to concentrate. And talking to the punter prior to the game, he says he's trying to hold on to the ball. Ramsey says, I'm going to try to hold on to that ball until the last second before I punt it.
Butch Johnson is deep for the Cowboys.
There it goes.
End over end kick, bounces at the 35 and going to be out of bounds at the 30. Well, they say right at the 35-yard line. So Dallas will put the ball in play offensively from that point. No score here in the first period of play with the game 1 minute old. Cowboys offensive line, no changes there. They've done an outstanding job latter part of the season, particularly. Talking about doing a great job. Tony Hill made the Pro Bowl. Dupree made the Pro Bowl this week. Pearson didn't, surprisingly. Danny White now making his first start at quarterback. Dorsett and Laidlaw are the setbacks. We could see Robert Newhouse before the afternoon is over. Double tight end setup. Jackie Smith is in there along with Dupree. That is Smith in motion as White hands it to Laidlaw. And Laidlaw gets out to the 39-yard line. Pick up a 4 or so before he's gang tackled by the guys in green, the New York Jets. Larry Keller leading the defensive charge. The Jets do have a problem. It's defensively. They've given up a lot of points.
They sure have. And last week was, it was just a heartbreaker for them. They came back. They really, really fought in there and hung in there, and then they get beaten in sudden death overtime. We're taking a look at these Jet linebackers. They're using that 3-man front, Frank, and these guys are all over the field.
That's pretty much a no-name defense to your average football fan, I'll tell you. Here's Dorsett taking the pitch. And Tony D gets out to the 44-yard line. Going to be about a yard short of the first down. Dorsett coming into this game after Walter Payton's 90-yard rushing day yesterday. Needs 191 yards rushing to be the NFC rushing leader. I would think that would have to be someday. Huh?
I would think it would be more than someday. But he's got 1,204 right now, and he's coming into this ball game for 4.6 yards per carry, 12:06.
Dallas needs less than a yard for the first down. Cowboys at their own 44-yard line. White calling the signals. Long count play this time. Laidlaw gets the call. He's got the first down. We got a flag at the 49-yard line.
You don't know if that's a flag or a piece of paper, but I think it's a flag.
There are papers everywhere. I mentioned just before we went on the air, this at times resembled sort of a flying garbage heap in a way, doesn't it? With all the paper in the air.
Is that any connotation of my nickname, the garbage can?
Yeah, you should feel right at home. So they'll bring it back. As the indication is, the penalty is going to be against the Cowboys. 10-yard walk-off. Let's see if we can get the call here from the referee pen drive.
Offensive holding number 81.
Jackie Smith guilty of the infraction, so wipe out the first down. The ball is moved back inside the 35-yard line. It's now 3rd down and 11 needed for the first down.
Frank, they've got Preston Pearson in there, who's our leading receiver. He's got 45 receptions to date right now. And, he's one of the great receivers. He played with me down in Baltimore, played for Pittsburgh for a while, and is a real prized possession of the Cowboys.
Danny White from the shotgun. Protection is good. He's going long for Dupree, who can't hold it at the 45-yard line of the Jets, so the Cowboys will be punting it away.
Here it is again right here on the replay. You'll see him setting up the shotgun. The snap's directly back to Danny White. Sets up. Great drop by the linebackers. You can see what the quarterback's looking at right here. Throws it right over the middle. Good pass defense.
So good job defensively by the Jets. Mark Merrill, number 58, was back there contesting with Dupree. And White, of course, does the Dallas punting as well and has done it very well. Now he's got the wind at his back. Let's see what he gets here. Well, not very much. Very poor kick off the side of his foot and going to be out of bounds around midfield. They say it's out of bounds at the 48-yard line. White's going to be a triple threat man today. He will not only play quarterback, but he will punt and he will also hold on placement attempts because Charlie Waters, the regular holder, has got a bad finger. 12 minutes, 20 seconds left to play in the first period at Chase Stadium. No score. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience, and any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the New York Jets and the National Football League is prohibited. 1st and 10. Jets have the ball at the 50-yard line after a 20-yard punt by Danny White. Matt Robinson fumbles the snap and falls on it wisely at the 49. Robinson, of course, is the young man who came on when Richard Todd broke his collarbone in the 4th game of the season, and he has been something, well, just less than sensational so far this year, so much so that they say they're going to have a real battle in training camp next year for that #1 job.
Well, he's thrown some long ones, I'll tell you. He's not, his completion average is only around 48%, but I'll tell you, the thing that he's doing is he's hitting Walker in those deep patterns. He's hitting long average per completion.
Cowboys go with their prevent defense on 2nd down, 11. Hand off to Durking, and Durking gets scrambled behind the line of scrimmage. Great defensive charge that time by the Cowboys as Cliff Harris broke through there with an assist from Randy White to make the stop, and the Jets now are -3 on this particular series of downs and have a 3rd down 13 upcoming. Temperature is not that cold. It's in the 30s. It's easy for us to say, though, because the wind is not blowing on us like it is on the guys on the field. But it's in the 30s. It should drop during the course of the day. The sun keeps peeking through the clouds, but it's the wind that gets you.
Come on, D.
Jets on their own 47-yard line. Robinson with the drop. Long release. Wesley Walker, number 85, the long ball leader in the NFL, averaging some 25 yards per catch on the year and better than 1,200 yards receiving.
You can see Matt setting up right up here, and Walker's just doing a fly pattern. He's just flying. He's got 4.35 speed, and that ball is just overthrown. But throwing into the wind like that, you can see that this Matt Robinson has a strong arm, and he can throw it. Reminds me a lot of the Joe Namath with a strong arm, and if you get used to playing in this stadium, you can throw any place.
He's even got the old Namath Fu Manchu, have you noticed?
Yeah, I did.
Chuck Ramsey, the punter. Butch Johnson is deep, keeps it low, bounces at the 25, and Johnson will watch it as it's down at the 19-yard line. Kevin Bell, number 80, was down there quickly for the Jets, so the Cowboys will come up with their 2nd offensive possession of the afternoon at their own 19-yard line with 10 minutes, 51 seconds left in the 1st quarter. Frank Lieber along with Tom Eddy. It is the last game of the season, isn't it?
And Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown, yeah.
And we got a score on the Philadelphia game at 6-0. Wilbert Montgomery scored on a 2-yard run, but they missed a point down there.
Well, Dorsett doing a little juggling act, wound up with the ball, plucked his own would-be fumble out of there and wound up gaining a couple of yards on the play. Tony has fumbled 11 times this season. That's 1 short of the team record for a running back set in 1961. I don't think you can really call this a fumble, right?
No, I think
that's a juggle, right? That's an old Matty juggle.
Did tricks with that ball up there. Watch it here again. He breaks back against the grain. He picks up his block, but doesn't have control of that football. The one thing you got to do is put that ball away, and especially when you've had 11 so far this year.
2nd and 8. Danny White to Dorsett. Across the 30-yard line to the 31, everything in order. That should be enough for the Cowboys' first down of the ball game.
That was a great call there, Frank. They had him really backed up. Rush was coming on. The linebackers dropped back to that zone back in there, which New York uses a lot of, and they just dropped it right underneath and picked up about 11 yards.
First down for the Dallas Cowboys at their 31-yard line. No score with 9:45 left to play in the 1st period. Jackie Smith just came back in the game, so once again, Dallas operating with the tight end setup. Smith is on the wing off to the right side, outside of Billy Joe Dupree. Let's see if he starts in motion again. Yep, there he goes. Dorsett up the middle. Breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage and gets out to the 37, 38-yard line before Burgess Owens, number 22, comes up from the secondary to make the stop. That's been a very effective play for Dallas when they send Smith in motion leading the interference.
He's got that back coming across. Here it is again. It's just a counter play. Watch him, Dorsett, break back to the outside. He follows his blockers as well as anybody in the league as far as I'm concerned.
Kind of reminds you of you in your prime, doesn't it?
my speed especially.
Yes, I'm sure. 2nd down, 3. Dallas from its 37-yard line. 8 minutes, 55 seconds left in the opening period. Danny White at the throttle for the first time ever in regular season play. Hands to Scott Laidlaw, and Laidlaw will be close to a 1st down at the 42-yard line. All that Laidlaw has done is score 4 touchdowns in 3 starts during the absence of Robert Newhouse, and has averaged 71 yards per start.
You know, the other thing about Dorsett is that the defenses have really been keen on him, and you can really tell that because in the last 3 games, he's only been averaging 3.3 yards per carry, Frank, and so somebody's got to be watching him.
Which enables Laidlaw to get going a
That's
little bit,
right. That's what helps Laidlaw.
1st and 10, Dallas at its 42-yard line. Cowboys in the I formation. White feeding Dorsett. Dips in and dips back out. Across the 45 out to the 48-yard line. Burgess Owens again making the stop, number 22. Jets could use some help in the pass rushing department. That's hasn't been one of their strong points so far this year, and I think that's probably where their interest will lie in the draft next time around. They've beefed up the offense pretty good. In fact, their offensive unit is number 2 in the league right now. They've scored just 3 points less than the Cowboys.
That's nothing to be ashamed of, but they really do need help on the defensive line, especially Abdul Salam is out now with a sprained nail. He may be in today, but you can see that at the end of last week's game. That's where they were really hurting because the Browns just marched right down the field.
Here's White. Good protection. Completes it to Laidlaw for the first down at the Jets 45. And Laidlaw driving forward to the 42-yard line.
Yeah, you take a look at Danny White here from the end zone shot. It's just a play-action pass. Dorsett coming off tackle, sets up. Laidlaw goes through first. Just goes out in the flat over there and hooks up in that dead spot, and the ball is perfectly thrown. You know, Danny White, he looks like a pretty good veteran quarterback out there. He's generating a lot of offense.
You know, he had a couple of years in the World Football League with the old Memphis Southmen before he came to the Cowboys. So he's equivalent now of a guy in his 5th, 6th year in the pros. Hand off Dorsett. Stopped at the 40-yard line after a pickup of just a couple of yards on the play.
Here's an isolation of what a running back does. He takes a jab step to the one side, comes back up to the middle. It looks like he's going to break it away right here, but he gets nailed right there. It's a good tackle.
Tony Dorsett, 5 carries in the early going for 21 yards at a 2nd down 8 for the Cowboys at the Jets 40-yard line. Danny White, who apparently is the heir apparent for the Cowboy quarterback position if Roger Staubach ever retires. Here's White again displaying the good arm as he hits Tony Hill. His first pass reception of the day, carries the ball to the 36-yard line. Hill, one of 9 Cowboy Pro Bowlers. Larry Keller, number 56, on the stop for the New York Jets. Jets have 1 player in the Pro Bowl. That's Wesley Walker, their great receiver, who will be starting. Cowboys have 9.
That sort of tells you something.
That tells you something, doesn't it?
Yeah, you take a look at Tony Hill. He has 43 receptions. That's his 44th, but he's averaging 18.7 yards per catch.
He's had a great year. He's the Cowboys' long ball threat this year. 3rd down. Dallas needs 4 to keep the drive going. They're at the 36-yard line from the shotgun. Big rush on White. Gets it away. Hill makes the catch and is pulled out at the 27. 1st down. Officials will give him the 25.
Here it is from the shotgun again. You can see Danny setting up. They have the blitz on. Danny gets that ball off. It's a great throw. It's a comeback pattern. You can see Hill coming back. Here's what the quarterback is looking at when he's setting up there. You can see the blitz coming from the inside. He just gets that ball off. Tony Hill makes a great reception coming back. It's underthrown. That's what you got to do.
Dorsett taking the pitch inside the 20 down to the 17-yard line. Goes the Cowboys' fine runner. Danny White now is 4 out of 5 for 34 yards. Not a bad start at all for a guy that's thrown only 10 passes all year long. This Cowboy drive started back at the 19-yard line and has now reached the New York Jets 17. It'll be 2nd down 3. Drew Pearson wide to the left side. Jackie Smith on the wing off to the right. Dorsett, Laidlaw, the setback. Dorsett, 15 and down to the 10. Burgess Owens, number 22 on the stop.
You can see the great acceleration of Dorsett once he gets the ball. Watch when he turns up to the inside. He really flies back up in there, looks for his blockers, and cuts right through.
Good block by Burton Lawless, number 66, opening the way. Ball is at the 10-yard line. It'll be first down, goal to go for the Dallas Cowboys. No score. 3 minutes, 35 seconds left to play in the opening period. Laidlaw to about the 6.
I don't know how he ducked the arms right there, but he got through. We do have some updates on scores here. Philadelphia 13, New York Giants 0.
I think they can smell the playoffs.
I think they can. And we also got the Tampa Bay Saints game. Saints scored on a 32-yard field goal by Steve Mickemeyer. That's 3-0.
No score in our game. Cowboys and the Jets, but Dallas with the first serious threat of the day. Second down, goal to go. Ball is at the Jet 7. Dorsett picking his way inside the 5. He scores. Tony Dorsett, 7 yards off tackle for the first touchdown of the game.
Now here it is right here again. Just great blocking at the point of attack. And look at the jitterbugging through there. He picks his hole so well. Gets in there. That's 6 touchdowns in the last 6 games for him.
Rayfield Wright leading the way this time. Boy, he weaves in,
He
weaves
sure
out,
does.
and back in again.
He's got the great quickness.
He put at least 3 moves on there in 7 yards.
I wouldn't want to have to tackle him in the open field, Frank.
Waters is doing the holding this week, so White gets relief in that area. Septien with the extra point try. It's good. 2 minutes, 41 seconds left to play in the opening period here at sunshiny Shea Stadium in New York City as the Dallas Cowboys lead the New York Jets 7-0. Well, the book of the Cowboys scoring drive, 80 yards in 14 plays. It took them 8 minutes and 10 seconds. That's a pretty impressive drive. Bruce Harper chasing this one down at the 7, back to the 20. Harper at the 25, breaks a tackle at the 30, and is finally dropped at the 35-yard line. So the Jets will put it in play there.
Frank, he's an exciting ball player, that little guy. He flies all over the field.
Free agent. Didn't cost him anything. And he can do it all. He returns punts, he returns kickoffs, he runs, he catches passes. Everything but sell tickets, I guess.
And maybe he does that. We didn't see him out there early.
Well, he does sell tickets in his own way, I'll tell you that. He's an exciting player. Sellout crowd on hand today of some 60,000. Matt Robinson. First handoff of the day to Kevin Long. Now, Long is the leading rusher on the year for the Jets and needs 86 yards coming into this game to reach 1,000. Only one other Jet rusher has done that before, and that was John Riggins.
Here's the San Francisco score right here. Detroit got a field goal on a 19-yard field goal by Benny Ricardo, so that puts them out in front. Detroit's coming on the second half of the season.
I imagine they wish the season would last another 6 games or so, huh? Second down 6. Jets at their 39-yard line. Jerome Barkham in motion. Again, it is Long getting the call, and he is sandwiched at the 41-yard line. Harris, number 43, Lewis, number 50, and Bob Brunig, number 53. The Cowboys middle linebacker from Arizona State, whose school played Rutgers up here in the Garden State Bowl yesterday.
Oh, Mr. Jones is having a few words down there. Chris Ward, I think, they were throwing a few. Or Marvin Powell, rather, number 79.
Third down, Jets need 3 for the first down. Larry Cole is in at a defensive tackle. We gave you Jethro Pugh in the starting lineup, but Jethro has been a question mark all week and has been out for a couple of games with a tender knee. Matt Robinson. Intended for Durking, incomplete. Interesting thing about Robinson is that he was a backup quarterback at the University of Georgia. Was a 9th-round draft pick last year, and look at him go. The guy who played ahead of him, a quarterback at Georgia, I understand, is now running a service station. There's the kicker, Chuck Ramsey, in to do the punting, and Butch Johnson back anticipating the punt, standing on his 15-yard line. 1:11 left in the opening period. Ramsey's had a good year punting the football out of Wake Forest. It's a very promising team. the Jets, and they feel that they were in the playoff picture up until last week against Cleveland when they suffered a heartbreaking loss. Dennis Thurman, short man for the Cowboys, fumbled the punt out of bounds, so Dallas will get the football at its 32-yard line with just over 1 minute left to play in the opening period. Cowboys lead the Jets 7-0 on Tony Dorsett's 7-yard touchdown run. Pro basketball back on CBS as of Christmas Day. One of the officials lost his hat. The wind blew so hard it blew it all the way over to the sideline, so they had to call a momentary delay here. 1st and 10, Cowboys ball at their 33. Danny White, 4 out of 5 on that impressive first drive for a total of 34 yards. Cowboys had 6 first downs on that drive. Scott Laidlaw taking the handoff, and there's nothing for him as Joe Pellegrini, number 77, makes the stop. Let's bring you up to date on some other scores around the National Football League.
There's another extra point missed.
Missed.
Yeah, Mark Miller scored on a 1-yard run and put Cleveland ahead of Cincinnati, which is a great rivalry in that area down there. And also the Giants have come back and got on the scoreboard. Now they're only trailing Philadelphia 13-3. That was on a 27-yard field goal.
2nd down 11, our score, Cowboys 7, Jets nothing. Cowboys ball at their 32-yard line. Good protection for White, out to Dorsett. Nothing there. Jets played that very nicely. Schaefer Suggs particularly, number 23, and Joe Klecko, number 73.
Here again you can see this is just a play action screen over there. Sets up the fake screen to the right, throws back to the left, and a great play by Klecko coming up and making the tackle in the backfield. He read that screen pass, saw what was happening, and that's as it goes.
Well, that play went for a touchdown in the Cowboys' last game, but the Jets obviously had it scouted well. Frank Lieber with Tom Matte back at Shea Stadium in New York. 2nd quarter about to get underway with the Cowboys leading the Jets by a score of 7-0. Very windy, blustery day with the wind gusts up to 45 miles per hour. Even the goalposts are moving a little bit under the. Look at the top sticks of those goalposts wave. Cowboys ball, 3rd down. They need 13 for the first down at their own 30-yard line. Oh, bad snap. White back at the 5-yard line, looking downfield. Goes long over the middle, and it's almost caught. Incomplete at the 32-yard line.
That was a great scramble by White. Got rid of the ball. They were really back in that hole there. You can see the ball pop right up through his hands. Maybe Staubach is taller, I don't know, but he makes a great play. The ball bounces up in his arms. That's just a lucky bounce. Then he starts looking around.
And winds up almost completing the pass. Had Preston Pearson not fallen down, he probably would have caught it.
He'd have caught it.
4th and 13. Big break for the Cowboys. White to do the punting. Harper at the 31-yard line. 35. Hit by Mike Hageman at the 39.
And he got hit. Woo.
So the Jets will take over 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line. Pretty good pop there.
You can see Harper get himself under control here, starts looking for some blocking, breaks up to the inside. Watch him get nailed right here. Those are the kind that hurt, Frank.
Tell me about it, huh? You never returned a punt in your life, did you?
I led the team. I led the league for a while on kickoff returns, about 2 weeks.
It was either that or disappear, huh?
That's right.
You want a job? Get back there and return kicks. Here's Matt Robinson. Safety blitz is on. Cliff Harris was booming through there. Charlie Waters covering Barkham at the 48-yard line. Number 83, the intended receiver. Kind of a delayed safety blitz.
Yeah, I think they went on a quick count there, and I think Waters didn't anticipate the count that quickly. We do have some updates on some scores. Steve DeBerg hit Jack Steptoe, 35-yard pass. It's 7-3.
There's Tony Dorsett on the sidelines, all bundled up.
There's our nice stats for the first quarter. Doesn't look too impressive for the Jets right now.
2nd and 10. Robinson is 0 for 5 in the passing department. He's having a tough time getting going. Hand off to Dierking, who gets out to the 42-yard line. Pickup of 2. You can tell how hard that wind is blowing simply by looking at the jersey sleeves on these guys. It's hard to stand up.
I saw a guy when I was walking in get blown over out in the parking lot and fell in a puddle of water. I think he might have had a couple of bruises in him, though.
That was more than just the wind, I think. 3rd down, 7. Jets at their 42-yard line. Matt Robinson, second-year man out of Georgia, at the throttle. Wide open over the middle is Walker. And the Jets have their first down, I think, of the ball game at the 45-yard line of the Cowboys.
Good pattern by Wesley Walker. You can see Matt setting up in the inside right here. Steps up into the pocket, pressures on him, really drills that ball. A good catch. Almost loses it there, keeps control, picks up the first down.
There was a flag on the play, but the penalty was against the Cowboys.
Offside, decline a penalty, 1st down.
That's the word from Ben Dryth, the referee. Wesley Walker on the pass reception. He's got 8 touchdown passes this year. Tampa Bay and New Orleans now tied in the first period. Jets trailing 7-0 in the second quarter. They're at the Cowboy 45-yard line. Robinson intended on the near sidelines for number 33, Kevin Long.
He caught that ball, but he caught it out of bounds. Good pass coverage.
Henderson back there protecting.
Reaches right inside.
You know, he mentioned Henderson had a strep throat coming into the ball game. He said he got a letter or a card or something from somebody the other day with a poem on it. They said, Thomas Henderson sure is cute, but could he play as a mute? And the answer is probably no. He said, if he can't talk, that's part of his game. 2nd and 10. Jets at the Cowboy 45. Robinson under pressure, loses the ball. But I believe the Jets recovered the fumble back at their 46-yard line.
A lot of pressure on him there.
Randy White, number 54. I think White and Harvey Martin have got a little thing going. They each have 15 quarterback sacks in the year, so this one decides it.
You could see the pressure. They had a tackle game on the inside. Came around the outside and really wrapped him up.
It was actually Stalls who gets credit for the sack here. White was also in there, but Stalls, 65, got there first.
You could see the tackle going outside the end there, tackle end game. Stalls wings him around, and those big guys can throw you around.
3rd down. 19 needed for the 1st down. Jets at their 46. Again, pressure on Robinson. Hit from behind and manages to hang on to the football until after he was down. Loss of a couple of yards on that play. That's Harvey Martin getting his first quarterback sack, his 16th of the year. Team's 55th.
Here's Matt setting up again. He sees the pressure from the inside. Look at the way he's hanging that ball up like a loaf of bread. Now he's going back just ready to throw it, and he's lucky he holds on to this thing and hits the ground because it does pop out, but as long as you're down with that ball under control, it's not a fumble.
Ramsey to do the punting. Now he should have the wind at his back. I say he should have because the open end of the stadium is behind him, but once the wind gets inside the stadium, it kind of swirls around. So you got a case where 2 flags could be blowing in opposite directions. Keeps it low. Butch Johnson back at the 15. Trying to get to the far sideline. He gets nothing. Ridden out of bounds at the 16-yard line by Ken Troy, number 48 of the Jets.
You can just see right here, watch this ball being centered. Look what it's doing as it comes back. It is really hard to concentrate. Not only that, but when you're dropping it, it's really difficult to kick, so it really makes it interesting.
A bit of a breeze at Shea Stadium. Now the Jet snapper is Joe Fields, and he's going to have to start allowing for this, isn't he?
You saw that. You saw the flag. Now watch the football. We showed this on just going in a commercial, but look at the way that ball is going all over the place. A great adjustment by the punter.
The snap was straight, right? He had to take that big step to his right just to catch up with it.
That ain't no fun to play in.
Either that or Fields has found out a way to put a curve on his snap. 1st and 10, Cowboys at their 16-yard line. Once again, the double tight end offense for the Cowboys. Jackie Smith in motion. Dorsett takes the handoff. And a stop after a pickup of maybe a yard in the play. Joe Pellegrini, number 77, into the tackle. 49ers and the Lions up at the Silver Dome. At least they're playing without any wind up there.
That's right. Mr. DeBerg hit on that long pass again. He's a young quarterback with a good arm, and they're in a rebuilding program too. They're a young ball club like the Jets here, but they sure weren't as successful as this team has been this year.
2nd down 9 for the Cowboys at their 17 as Danny White looks over the defensive alignment. 11:25 left in the first half. Nice fake by White out to Tony Hill. Hill to the 23-yard line. They needed to net the 26 to pick up the first down. So it'll be a 3rd and 3 upcoming as Bob Martin, number 59 of the Jets, made the stop.
You know, Frank, you take a look at these kind of conditions that they're having, and you take a look at also at the shotgun offense that they use on that direct snap back to the quarterback that's set up about 5 yards deep. You know, on a day like today, it's awful dangerous to do that, as you saw with the snap of the ball and the punt. And this could have been the reason why that thing took off on that last one that he had. He's going under the center this time.
3rd down. Dallas needs 3 for the first down to keep the drive going, or they'll have to punt against the wind. Danny White's pass is tipped and intercepted at the 35-yard line. Larry Keller, number 56 of the Jets, makes the interception, and the Jets have a first down at the Dallas 28-yard line. That's something that Dallas has not done in recent games, turn the football over.
Here it is again. The reason why this interception took place was that big defensive lineman got his hands up in the air, catches it. Now watch, he almost gets tackled by his own man there.
Joe Pellegrini, number 77, made the tip.
Here he is again. Watch him get it up there. Pellegrini hits it. Ball pops in, and his own man, number 63, right there, almost makes a tackle on him.
Back to live action now. Jets first down at the Dallas 28. They give to Kevin Long, and Long gets a yard. I tell you, he's going to have a tough time gaining his 86 to get to 1,000 because the Cowboys are number 1 in the NFL against the rush.
You know, that 1,000-yard mark, even though this is a 16-game schedule, is still, you know, probably one of the greatest feats a back can have. I got close to it 1 year. I think I got a little
400 something.
I got 919 yards.
2nd and 9. Jets at the Dallas 25-yard line. Robinson intercepted, and that's Aaron Kyle. Back to the 15. Kyle at the 20, out to the 28-yard line. He takes it back to the Jets' original line of scrimmage.
When you talk about great interceptions here, that ball was even thrown behind him. Here you'll be able to see him throw the ball. Matt throws it right in there, but watch where he catches that thing. He gets back, and then he makes a great run back right here, gets him in great field position.
There's a portion of the sellout crowd of 60,000 plus on hand here at Shea Stadium. Be nice to sit in the sunshine today because the benches are not in the sunshine. Here's Cowboys. 1st and 10. Here's Dorsett breaking a tackle at the line of scrimmage. Gets it out to the 35 and is dragged down at the 37 after a pickup of 10 yards on the play. Bobby Jackson, number 40, made the stop. 3rd meeting ever between these two clubs. Dallas won both, one in Dallas, and then the last game of 1975, which ironically was the last time that Roger Staubach missed a start. It was up here at Shea Stadium in New York against the Jets. The Cowboys were quarterbacked that day by Clint Longley. Beat the Jets 31-21. 2nd down, less than a yard. Danny White amidst the flying debris. Double tight end setup. Jackie Smith in motion for the Cowboys. Scott Laidlaw picks up the first down at the 38-yard line. Quarterbacks have those special slits cut in their jerseys so they keep the fingers warm between plays. It's not a very, very pleasant situation. Of course, a big game for Danny White. I'm sure he feels he has the opportunity to show what he can do.
I'll tell you, anytime you get a chance to get in there and play, you want to make sure you do a good job. And one of the things that a back does, I used to wear gloves on the sideline, was to keep those hands warm, because once you lose those feelings, boy, it's tough to get them back warm again.
1st and 10, Cowboys at their 38-yard line. White with the pitch to Dorsett. Dorsett is caught behind the line of scrimmage. Fine penetration by Larry Keller, number 56, the left side linebacker for the New York Jets. Oh, he got through there quickly.
There he is right there. Dorsett just gets nailed. A good tackle.
7 minutes, 55 seconds left to play in the first half. Cowboys 7, the Jets nothing. 80-yard touchdown drive climaxed by Tony Dorsett, 7-yard runoff tackle.
The thing is, if the Jets had an opportunity there, they'd be able to capitalize on that fumble or that interception that they had, and they could have gone in there and scored. They could have made this a real close ball game.
2nd and 11. Deep drop by Danny White. Now flushed out of the pocket by Klecko. Gets the pass away. He's got Drew Pearson at the 40. 35 down to the 30 and out of bounds at the Jet 29.
A great throw by Danny White. Found Drew Pearson open in that spot. Coming right across the middle of the field. Here it is. Play action again. Dorsett off tackle. Danny White's looking downfield. Sees that pressure coming from the left side there. Rolls out. Picks up Pearson. Perfect throw.
He did a great job under pressure there, finding the open man, didn't he?
That's nice to have that kind of depth.
Officials mark it at the 28-yard line. 1st and 10 Cowboys. They lead 7-0. White is 7 out of 10 for 73 yards. Gives it to Dorsett. Looks like White had a little problem with the exchange with the center, John Fitzgerald.
Got an update on that San Francisco-Detroit game. Now it's 7-6. Ricardo hit a 40-yard field goal up there.
Danny White was the regular starting quarterback for the World Football League's Memphis Southmen, directing an offense which featured Larry Zonka and Paul Warfield. There is nothing that is stationary in the stadium today, I don't think. You have a tough time standing up. 2nd and 13. Dallas from its 32. White hands to Dorsett. Picks his way up the middle through the Jet tacklers to the 25-yard line for a pickup of 7 yards on that play. Dorsett's getting a lot of work. He likes to carry the ball 20-25 times per game, and he may get his wish at the rate he's going. He has 13 carries for 54 yards. Give you an idea of the debris and the way it flies around here. It's unbelievable. You know, hot dog wrappers and everything else. Laidlaw comes out. Preston Pearson goes into the passing situation. It is 3rd down 7. Cowboys at the 25 of the Jets. White with good protection. Near sideline throw to Preston Pearson. He's down to the 15, to the 10, and out of bounds at the 7-yard line. Preston Pearson, Cowboys' leading receiver on the year.
You've got to expect when he comes in that ball game, they're going to be throwing to him. Comes in on the passing situation. He's got 40-some receptions. Right now, he's about 46, 47 receptions right now, and they're going to throw to him. He gets open. He knows how to get open. He knows how to read those defenses. Sets himself up out there and does another great job. Gets more than the first down. They're knocking on the door.
He could become the first running back to lead the team since Calvin Hill did it in 1973. Officials mark it at the 8-yard line. 1st down, goal to go for the Cowboys. Tony Dorsett trying to get outside. Gets a yard to the 7, and that's it. Good containment by Schaefer Suggs, number 23 of the Jets. Stops him after a pickup of 1.
Dorsett had a few words there.
Yes. Dorsett has now scored 6 touchdowns in his last 6 games since snapping a 6-game scoreless streak. Here comes Preston Pearson into the lineup once again. 2nd down, goal to go as you look over the shoulder of Merrill, the Jet linebacker, Mark Merrill. Danny White handing off to Preston Pearson, who reaches the 5 for a pickup of 2 in the play. Joe Pellegrini, number 77, jammed up the middle that time.
Dorsett came off the field limping a little bit. I think he might have got his ankle twisted down there. That's what that conversation was about as he was coming back to the huddle.
3rd down, goal to go from the Jet 5-yard line. 4 minutes, 35 seconds left to play in the first half. Dallas leading 7-0. So it is Preston Pearson coupled in the backfield now with Scott Laidlaw. Drew Pearson is wide to the left side. Tony Hill is split to the right. Danny White passes tipped and short of the intended receiver, Scott Laidlaw. So a field goal situation presents itself for the Dallas Cowboys. Rafael Septien, who is 15 out of 25 on the year, number 2 scorer among kickers in the National Football Conference. With the ball at the 5, Charlie Waters will put it down at the 12, which will make it a 22-yard effort. He is perfect from this distance on the year. 7 out of 7 inside the 30-yard line.
This wind's going to make it a little bit different, though.
He's got it.
Not too much different.
Almost like an extra point. So Septien with a 22-yard field goal. And with 4:13 left to play in the first half, Cowboys 10, Jets nothing. Frank Lieber with Tom Matte back at Chase Stadium in New York. Septien ready to kick off. He'll be kicking against the wind. With 4:13 left to play in the first half. Pretty good boot. Look at this. Bruce Harper a yard deep in the end zone. Out to the 10, 15, 20, and up to the 23-yard line. Jets have not been able to get it going offensively. Robinson has hit 1 out of 8 for 13 yards. Had 1 intercepted. And rushing-wise, they have a total of 8 yards rushing and 1 first down so far here in the first half. That's not going to win many football games for you.
That sort of tells you a little bit about the defense that Dallas does have. Even with Roger Staubach out of there, this defense is going to be in there. They're going to stay together. They're going to play their kind of ball game.
Wesley Walker is flanked to the right side. Mike Hegman, the Cowboy linebacker, head up with him. Robinson looking for Walker and overthrows him. Interesting thing with Walker, now they moved the linebacker out to bump him at the line of scrimmage, leaving Benny Barnes back there, the cornerback, to pick him up.
That's right. They're putting a double coverage on him. They want to make sure that he doesn't get a hold of that ball. That guy can fly with it.
Dallas scoring drive, 68-yarder to go with the 80-yarder they had earlier. 2nd and 10. Jets at their 23-yard line. Robinson trying to figure out this Dallas defense. Hands to Kevin Long. Nice hole as Long breaks across the 30 and is close to a first down at the 33.
Well, at least they're throwing out on first down. Here is a draw right now. Good call. They know they're in a passing situation. They got the games going on up the front wall up there. Randy White broke to the outside. Good run by Kevin Long.
Henderson, number 56, on the stop for the Cowboys. This will be close enough to measure.
You know, you're talking about that Dallas defense. And you take a look at those 2 safeties they have back there, Waters and Harris, which I think are 2 of the best combinations in the business today. These guys are great. They've got good coverage. They come in on that safety blitz. The Dallas Cowboys mix those defenses well. They know how to play them. That's why they're up there at number 1 in the league.
Short of the first down by a matter of 2 or 3 inches, I would suppose at this point.
If they let the wind blow long enough, it'll roll that ball
Maybe they'll
over.
get it, huh? 2nd down and inches for the Jets at their 33. 3.5 minutes left to play in the first half. Jets trailing 10-0. It is Long. Picks up the first. Almost breaks out of the grasp of Cliff Harris. 1st and 10, Jets at their 38. Their 2nd first down of the afternoon.
Closing in on halftime here, Frank. We've only got 3:20 left in the game, or in this first half, rather.
Harvey Martin left the lineup for the Cowboys for 1 play and was replaced by Larry Bethea, the Cowboys' number 1 draft choice. Here's Robinson back to throw under pressure. Brunig got in there on the blitz.
They had everybody coming.
Bob Brunig, number 53.
You can see it here. Linebackers, they got the safety coming. There's Waters coming in their picture right there at the top. So if the safety blitz was on, everybody was coming after him.
That's the 3rd quarterback trap for the Cowboys. Gives them 56 on the year. They are 2nd in the league in that category to Detroit, which had 60 coming into this weekend. 2nd down, 16. Jets at their 32-yard line. again, Robinson back into the pocket, delivers over the middle, completes it for short yardage to Jerome Barkham. Number 83. Barkham came to the Jets as a wide receiver, has moved to the tight end position. Excellent receiver.
6'4", 217, got great height, range. He can block. He's improved on it. You can see Matt setting up to the inside, throws it directly over the middle. Barkham's there, good tackle. No place to go. There's, you almost had a leg injury right there. You can see him wrapped up around there.
Mike Hagman on the stop for the Cowboys. It'll be 3rd down and 8 for the Jets at their 41-yard line, and we have come to the official 2-minute warning prior to the end of the first half. Timeout on the field with the Cowboys leading the Jets 10-0. And guess who's going to be in El Paso next Saturday?
My boys from Maryland down there. I'll tell you, that's going to be a great bowl. That's a great fun time for the teams. And it's also a lot of fun for our people from CBS.
Guess who else is going to be in El Paso? You're looking at him.
You're going to be there.
Yeah, we're looking forward to doing that. 3rd down 8 for the Jets. Less than 2 minutes now in the first half, and Walker drops the ball at the 50-yard line.
And it was a good throw. A little behind him. Have to adjust on those kind. He's upset with himself. You can see Matt setting up right up in 5 steps back. It's a quick out pattern, and he really puts some. He really zings that ball in there, right in his hands. You're not supposed to drop those kind.
4th down, punting situation now for the Jets. Both teams have all of their timeouts left. Butch Johnson trying to keep warm, standing at the 20-yard line for the Cowboys. As Chuck Ramsey shaking his head, wondering what in the world? How can they expect me to punt in this?
Oh, he gets a beauty.
Oh, he did. He got it up in the wind. Johnson at the 12. Dumped at the 14-yard line.
That was a great kick.
Yeah, you got all of that one. No question about that. So the Cowboys take over at their own 14-yard line after a fine punt by Chuck Ramsey of the New York Jets. Well, everybody bundle up at Shea Stadium, and that's because the wind is blowing. Look at that light tower swaying behind the scoreboard.
I wouldn't want to be sitting underneath those, Frank.
1st and 10 for the Cowboys at their 14-yard line. Danny White handing off to Preston Pearson, who carries out to the 17 or 18-yard line. We've received no word on Dorsett. Well, now I see him back in there, as a matter of fact. So he apparently is okay. Both teams with all of their timeouts left. Let's see, the Jets, I believe, have just used 1, so that will leave them with 2. Dorsett went out a little bit earlier. We thought perhaps he had twisted his ankle, but he's back in there ready to go. He has carried 14 times for 55 yards here in the first half. Danny White has hit 8 out of 12 for 90 yards. Thrown 1 interception, and for a guy who hasn't played that much this year, he has looked sharp, hasn't he?
I think he's called a very good game, but you know, these coaches do a good job preparing him. And this is a good young ball club with the Jets, but you know, Danny White's doing a good job.
Second down 6. Dupree in motion. Pitch to Preston Pearson. And Pearson is dragged down back at the 10-yard line. And again, the Jets want to call time, as they want to get the Cowboys in a situation where they have to punt against the wind.
You can see the pursuit right here. Preston Pearson gets a quick pitch out to the right side there. No hole. Tries a cut back against the grain. When you're in this kind of position, the best thing you can do is get what you can. But he's trying to run that clock out too.
Very unusual to see Preston Pearson and Dorsett in the backfield at the same time.
Usually in a passing situation.
I would say that's what they're in right now, 3rd down. Needing 10 for the first down.
I don't think they'll put it up. I think they're going to take their chances, although they're going to the shotgun.
Danny White being blitzed back in the end zone. Gets rid of the ball. Pearson had a shot at it, couldn't hold it. We get a flag down, and I think we had an ineligible receiver downfield. I noticed Herb Scott of the Cowboys was 5 yards beyond where Preston Pearson was.
Safety, they called the safety.
Did they call the safety?
They sure did.
Huh? Let's see. How can they call a safety?
No, they didn't. I thought the official. What's in?
Downfield 68.
All right, ineligible receiver.
4th down.
Herb Scott, number 68, was downfield and was an ineligible receiver.
I thought he was another receiver they had coming out of the backfield. Do you think the Jets might try to block this one, Frank? They got 10 guys on that line right now. They're coming after him.
Danny White punting against the wind, standing a yard deep in the end zone. A minute 20 left to play in the first half. Jet crowd hadn't had much to cheer about so far. Big rush. White gets the punt away and out of bounds inside the 30-yard line.
Boy, did they come after him. Great pressure.
Ken Schroy, number 48, blew through there. And White saw apparently he's going to get it blocked unless he took that extra step.
Danny White makes a great adjustment. You can see the man coming right in the corner of your screen right now. Watch him come across. There he is. He would have blocked it, no question about it. Danny White makes a great play. Even though he shanked it, he would have had that thing blocked and it could have been a touchdown.
Well, the Jets have an opportunity here with a first down at the Dallas 30. Dallas leading 10-0. Matt Robinson. Sideline throw almost intercepted by Cliff Harris. We get a penalty marker thrown at the 15-yard line. See what this one's about. Either offensive or defensive pass interference.
Defensive pass interference.
Against the Cowboys. Either that or holding. It's going to be against Dallas.
I think it's against Charlie Waters.
Well, Charlie didn't much care for the call as he lets the officials know about it.
Defense, illegal contact 41. 1st down.
Well, Charlie hit the receiver beyond 5 yards. So that gives the Jets another first down, a 5-yard advantage. Moves it up to the 25-yard line of Dallas. A minute 10 left in the half. Robinson goes up the middle to Harper. Harper at the 15 and down to the 10-yard line.
Oh, boy. Is that an exciting little man running that ball right there? They got to have the hurry-up offense right now.
Bruce Harper is 5'8", weighs 180 pounds in that area. First down. Goal to go for the Jets at the 10. Robinson sideline throw. Intended for Gaffney. Derek Gaffney, number 81, the intended receiver. That stops the clock with 43 seconds left to play in the first half. Benny Barnes, number 31 of the Cowboys, over defending.
We've got some updates on some scores right now, too. That's Detroit's up in front of San Francisco now, 13-7. And Cleveland's still in front of Cincinnati, though, 6-3.
Second down. Jets actually could pick up a first down if they got inside the 1. Those are the ball just outside the 10. Robinson under pressure. Sacked back at the 21-yard line. 4th trap of the day for the Cowboys. It was Mike Hageman, number 58, who was in there with an assist from Too Tall Jones, number 72.
They've got to at least get a field goal out of this.
3rd down. Ball is back at the 20-yard line. Robinson completes the pass at the 20. Ball is fumbled, and let's see, it's a Dallas recovery at the 15-yard line as Aaron Kyle comes up with the ball. Mickey Schuler, number 82, made the reception and then coughed it up. Schuler back up, rookie tight end from Penn State. Fighting for the ball here, and he gets popped right there.
And it pops out.
Well, not a bad day for Aaron Kyle. Plucked that one out of the air. Had an interception earlier. It never hit the ground? I don't think it did.
It never did hit the ground. It just popped right out.
25 seconds left to play in the first half. We'll have all the halftime activities, highlights, scores coming up shortly. So stay tuned. Cowboys 1st and 10 from their 16-yard line as Tony Dorsett carries out to the 17.
That should run the clock down to halftime.
Jets do have a timeout left. I don't know whether they'll use it. They were kind of saving that thing in hopes
for a field goal.
For a field goal. Didn't work out that way. Turnouts have been costly for the New York Jets. Time runs out here in the first half of play at Shea Stadium. First half that was all Dallas, offensively and defensively as well. Jets got field position on an interception a bit earlier and on the short punt, but they couldn't push it across. Hey, looking at Dallas, even with Danny White in there at the throttle, you got to believe they're about ready for that Super Bowl.
I think they're really prepping up, especially the defense, Frank. They've just done an outstanding job containing Matt Robinson. Wesley Walker, the #1 pass receiver in the league, he has just been contained to the inside. The pressure has been great. They've had a number of sacks in this first half. They've got to come up with some kind of a new game plan this second half.
Cowboys have had a couple of impressive drives. One, the 80-yarder, climaxed by the 7-yard touchdown run by Tony Dorsett, and then a 68-yard drive, and they got the field goal by Septienne out of it. And I think you can tell a little bit difference between a defending Super Bowl champion and an experienced football team and a good, young, but nevertheless still inexperienced team.
A very young team. They've got a great coaching staff. Walt Michaels, he has a possibility of being coach of the year. He's done such a great job. They predicted them to have a 1-15 record here. They've come back and showed the people in New York what kind of a young ball club they are. They average 1.6 years of experience. They're only, I think the average age is something like 24. So, I mean, this is a young ball club. They're aggressive, and I think they've got a lot of potential coming up. They've got some great draft choices this year. They've got 4 extra ones from what we can hear from the PR guy.
You know, Tom Landry could be coach of the year, I guess, every year,
yeah.
But that award now seems to go to the guy that does the most with the least. Sort of, you know. And the guy who is successful year after year, and Landry has been with the Cowboys in the playoffs 12 or 13 years. He never gets a tumble, but nevertheless, he's done another great job and has that capability of getting a team to peak at the right time. They've won 5 in a row. They win this one. They've got 6 victories in a row and then a week to rest, and really right now would appear to be the best team in the NFC.
I don't think there's any question about it. The thing that they've done is that they've come along. They've kept upgrading themselves, and they've really reached the momentum that they have to have going into these playoff games. These playoff games, each one is like a Super Bowl, and you have to go in mentally and physically prepared. Today's resting Roger Staubach. I think he could have played if he had to have played. I think it's a great move on his part. Give him that extra week off. Get him ready for the playoffs because it's all or nothing now.
You know, motivation, you begin to wonder. Dallas really doesn't have that much to gain here. They have an outside chance at hosting the NFC Championship game if they win and the Rams lose to the Green Bay Packers. But nevertheless, the Cowboys in this first half have come out and done a very professional job, pretty well handling the Jets.
Well, they've contained him. They've contained Matt Robinson, and this guy's a good young quarterback. You know, he can wing that ball, and the conditions here are they're pretty tough. Whenever you're playing in wind, you don't know what that ball's going to do. I've been out many a time on a pass pattern when Unitas would throw it to me with these kind of wind conditions. What would happen, that ball would drop 2 feet before it would get to you. So it's tough.
Well, we're at halftime. Cowboys lead the New York Jets by a score of 10-0. Tom, Maddie, and I will be back with more halftime activities shortly.
Back live in New York. We've come a long way in 75 years, folks. Happy anniversary to the Wright brothers. Winds gusting up to 30 miles an hour this afternoon in New York. And we link up 3 football games. Let's get you the scores right now. Dallas leading the Jets at Gusty Shea Stadium. 10-0 is the count at halftime.
Frank Labor along with Tom Maddie. We're back at halftime, and this is the halftime show at Shea Stadium this afternoon. And Frisbee, the Wonder Dog, is having his problems. I think he's 0 for 5 or 6, and he has drawn some booze.
He's drawn some booze.
As a matter of fact. Well, you know, the wind gets everybody. In case you joined us late, it is blustery, to say the least, here at Shea Stadium. We've had wind gusts recorded up to 45 miles per hour during the first half, and 20-25 mile per hour winds are very commonplace. There he goes again. Several of those things have sailed up into the stands, and I don't think he's that brave. Yeah, that's as far as he goes. But that's the type of afternoon that it's been here at Shea Stadium. A very, very windy day. And in case you joined us late again, the Cowboys lead the New York Jets by a score of 10-0. Both teams coming back on the field prior to the start of the second half. Jets are known for their great comebacks. They did it last week against the Cleveland Browns. Can they do it again? Stay tuned. Cowboys leading the Jets 10-0, and we're happy to report that during that last break, the dog finally caught one.
He caught one.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League. Well, they couldn't get the Ohio State or the Texas A&M or the SMU or the University of Texas marching band, so the dog had to do it. Nobody else had come out on a day that was this windy.
You could take a look at these halftime statistics, Frank, and you could see the possession time right there, 8:59 to 21:01. No comparison whatsoever. First downs, 4-9.
Look at that passing stat.
Passing stat, unbelievable. Matt Robinson has got to come out and generate some offense this second half. This team can do it, but they've got to do it. They're working under some pretty tough conditions with this win factor.
Well, the Cowboys had the alternate option here in the second half and elected to go home, but they couldn't do that. So they're going to have to receive. The wind is blowing, and again, you got to look at what it's doing to one of the light towers here beyond the scoreboard at Shea Stadium. It is blowing hard. That wind comes right off Flushing Meadow and into the open end here at Shea Stadium. And it is a cold wind with the temperature in the 30s. Pat Lay's going to need a little help here. Keep that ball on the tee to start the second half. Cowboys have Larry Brinson deep along with Butch Johnson. Brinson fields this one at the 5, back to the 15-yard line, and dropped at the 19.
Good coverage by the special team. The Jets special teams are doing a great job. They almost blocked that punt earlier in the first half when Danny White had to step up and just pop it. He missed that block that really kept them from scoring a touchdown, because I believe if it would have been blocked, it would have gone into the end zone.
See how young this Jet team is. Out of 45 guys on the roster, they've got 6 players who have 3 years or more experience in the league.
Well, Walt Michaels is doing a great rebuilding program. He's got some good coaches. One of them happens to be a guy by the name of John Idzik, an old buddy of mine from Baltimore, who's the offensive coordinator, who's doing a great job for him.
Dorsett takes it out to the 22-yard line before he's stacked up by Mark Merrill, number 58. Danny White in the first half, 8 out of 13 for 90 yards. He had 1 interception. Dorsett, 15 yards rushing and 13 carries. He's the leading rusher in the game. Now, Robert Newhouse has made an appearance for the Cowboys. Here's an update on that Cleveland-Cincinnati game. It's at halftime. Boy, talk about teams finishing fast. How about Cincinnati?
Boy, they sure have. Anderson's such a great quarterback of his own right.
Second down 7 for the Cowboys at their 22. Danny White, sideline throw. Drew Pearson pulls it in at the 31-yard line. That should be good enough for the first down.
Good throw, good play action pass, right to the sideline, low into the outside.
Dallas operating against the wind.
Here he is right there. He really winds up and zings that ball. You have to in this win.
Those are not flags that you're seeing occasionally. That is debris which is flying through the air here, propelled by the wind.
Atlanta, St. Louis. Atlanta going into playoff position here if they get a chance at 7-0.
Talking about people done a great job. Eddie LeBaron putting that organization together down there. And Lehman Bennett guiding them to the playoffs this year. Danny White feeds Robert Newhouse. Newhouse seeing his first action in 4 games. Of course, suffered a fracture of a bone above his ankle, kind of in the shin area. It wasn't a serious thing, but Tom Landry wanted to get him in for maybe a quarter today to get him kind of used to the feel of things before the playoffs get underway.
You know, Frank, you've got to get back in the groove. You've got to be able to take those hits. You have to know how to fall, and this is a conditioning, part of it, because, when you're practicing, you're not getting those shots, so you have to be in a game condition to get yourself back to get ready, and this is the time that he has to get ready. The playoffs are starting. 2nd
and 8. Dallas from its 34-yard line. Dorsett on the delay. Out to the 38-yard line. Cowboys need to net the 43 for the first down, so it'll be 3rd down and just under 5 needed for the first.
Here it is again right up the middle. Dorsett breaking to the outside. Look at the way he moves laterally. He's got his feet moving all the time.
Newhouse comes out of the game for the Cowboys. Officials spotted at the 38. They're having trouble keeping the ball. Official just going to have to lean on that football until the center, John Fitzgerald, comes out of the huddle and gets over it. 3rd down, let's call it 4. Needed for the first down. White back to throw it. Over the middle to Preston Pearson. First down, Dallas. as the old reliable comes through again for the Dallas Cowboys.
Here he is setting up right now. Looks, throws back to the right side right there. Preston Pearson in the dead spot in front of that linebacker. Knows how much yardage he has to get for the first down and does it.
Cowboys 1st and 10 at their 43-yard line. Danny White has done an excellent job quarterbacking his football team this afternoon. After throwing just 10 passes all year, getting his first starting nod, and of course, really, Cowboys don't have that much motivation. You'd think they wouldn't have much motivation. They've got everything clinched they need to, except that home field advantage for the championship game. Dorsett stopped at the line of scrimmage, but yet doing a very professional job on the Jets. Danny played his college football at Arizona State. Dad was an NFL player, as a matter of fact. Wilfred White with the old Bears.
We got an update on that San Francisco-Detroit game. Dexter Bussey just scored on a 1-yard run, puts Detroit out in front 20-7, and that's 41 seconds remaining in the second period.
Our score, the Cowboys 10, the Jets nothing. 11.5 minutes left in the third period. Dallas 2nd and 8. Cowboys have the football at their 45. Newhouse back in the backfield, along with Dorsett. Drew Pearson in motion. Dorsett, nice block by Herb Scott, springing Dorsett beyond the 50 and out of bounds at the 46 of the Jets. That'll be very close to a first down.
And that was
number 68 leading the way.
Frank, that was really good hard running right here. It's just a sweep. The flanker went into motion, came back to the inside, picked the first man. Look at the cut on Dorsett makes right there off his block. Breaks a tackle, picks up the first down. Good running. He can really move well laterally.
Cowboys with another ball control drive here as they take the opening kickoff in the second half. They've eaten up the first 4 minutes of the third period and have a first down at the Jets 46. White over the middle to Dorsett. He's at the 40-yard line. Tony at the 36, and down he goes. Bobby Jackson, number 40, makes the pin in the Cowboy runner. That's 10 yards and right at the first down marker again. Let's see if they got it.
Again, camera coverage. It's just a delay. Right over the middle. Dorsett comes up with it, makes another good move back to the inside, tries to go back outside and is nailed right there. But he does have enough for the first down, Frank.
Ball control drive against the wind. That's what the Cowboys are operating here in the third period. It's got to take a lot of starts out of the Jets because they're running off all that time, and they'll have the win in the final period. Dallas with a first down at the Jet 36. Jackie Smith, number 81, in motion. Newhouse takes the handoff. To about the 32, John Hennessy, number 63. Let's see if we had a flag. I believe we did.
Yes, we do. It's not a piece of debris.
It's either a hot dog wrapper or a flag. One. Illegal motion against the Cowboys. We'll wipe out that game.
Now we got an update on the Baltimore-Buffalo game. 2 Giants playing today down there. My hometown.
What's going to happen to that Baltimore situation? They're going to have a new coach in there or what?
I don't know. You know, there's been a lot of scuttlebutt. Even Jimmy the Greek has come out and said we're going to get George Allen, but I don't know if that's true or not.
Offense, illegal motion, number 88.
I mean, you're not on the inside on that deal.
No, ever since Joe Thomas was there, we haven't been on too much of the inside anything of all the old dogs.
They don't consult you anymore. Huh?
No, they don't. They don't even call me up for my advice.
Drew Pearson in motion, 5-yard penalty. 1st and 15, Cowboys at the Jet 41-yard line. Pearson wide to the left side. Tony Hill split off to the right. Quick count play. Dorsett takes the handoff down to the 36-yard line. Pick up close to 5 on the play. Lawrence Pillars, number 76, makes the stop for the Jets. White trying to keep warm. Tom Landry's got to be happy with what he's seen here as far as his backup man to Roger Staubach. And I know all Danny White fans back in Texas have to be happy too, because this is a class young man who has not complained over the role he's had to assume. He feels he's ready to quarterback an NFL right now, but he is content at this point in his career to wait for Staubach to retire. If it happens soon, he'll be the man. No question about that.
I had that same problem. I had to play behind a guy by the name of Lenny Moore for 5 years. I couldn't do too much complaining either.
On 2nd and 11, White, bullet over the middle, caught by Drew Pearson. Nope, they're going to roll it incomplete. They're going to say he trapped it at the 22-yard line. The official who called that was actually behind Pearson, and I thought he was shielded from the ball.
The official up on the front also was giving him the no good signal on the thing. He must have, I thought it looked pretty good to me. Here it is. Let's see if we can see it from the camera angle.
Excellent protection for White. Nobody near him.
Let's see if it's a trap or it's good. I'll let everybody be the judge on that one. I'm not going to get in the middle of that.
3rd down, 11. Cowboys at the Jet 37, moving against the wind. 10 minutes, 3 seconds left in the 3rd period. From the shotgun, Danny White ready to unload. Near sideline throw is short of the intended receiver. That's one of the few that has misfired. Butch Johnson, number 86, was the intended receiver. One of the Jets getting up slowly and limping off. That's Joe Klecko, perhaps their best pass rusher, number 73, who was shaken up on the play. Well, despite the fact the Cowboys are inside the 30 with the wind blowing as hard as it is, they will not try the field goal. And White is in to do the punting. There's Bruce Harper standing back inside his 10-yard line.
Oh, an exciting little man, I'll tell you.
You said that before, didn't you?
I sure did. I like him. I like little guys.
You just like little guys.
I like him. I used to be big to those guys.
Harper makes the, oh, he let it go, and it goes out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Not a bad punt by Danny White. Harper had second thoughts about it. That would have been a shoestring catch, and he had a chance of fumbling it, so he decided to let it go. And it went out of bounds at the 4. That's where the Jets will take over for the first time in the second half. First and 10. New York Jets with the football at their 4-yard line after that fine punt by Danny White. Kevin Long breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage. Mark Washington, number 46, makes the stop. See, 1958. That was even before your time with the Colts, wasn't it?
That was a little bit before my time, but let me tell you, they had a great time putting that piece together up in New York when they had the touch football game. Gino Marchetti was up there, and John, the Horse Amici, Artie Donovan, you had Alex Webster, Gifford, and those guys. They really had a great time putting together, had a lot of laughs, drank a lot of beer, too.
I'll bet they did. Second down, 5. Jets at their 9, trying to get out of the hole. Long trying to get outside, and this time he's trapped behind the line. And again, it was Mark Washington, number 46, who knifed through there and held him up long enough for the reinforcements to arrive.
I don't think Mr. Long is going to have a shot at getting that 1,000 yards. We have a tight game here with Atlanta St. Louis. St. Louis coming on at the end of the season under Bud Wilkinson.
That, of course, Atlanta's in the playoffs. Now, what they're battling for essentially is the home team slot next week in the first round of the playoffs, matching the wild card teams. So Atlanta does need a victory from that standpoint. Loss of 2 on the play. It's 3rd down and 7. With the Jets back at their 7. Matt Robinson, sideline throw to Gaffney. As that time, Mark Washington slipped and couldn't recover in time, and the Jets will have a first down at the 17-yard line.
They're few and far between, but here he is setting up from back in the pocket right there. Matt Robinson hanging in there. Watch him with the follow-through. Really have to follow through. Perfect throw to the sideline. Gets both those feet in bounds. Gets the first down.
Robinson led the Southeastern Conference in passing as a sophomore, but didn't play that much as a junior and a senior as the team went to the veer, more run-oriented offense. There's a safety blitz on, and problem with the exchange, obviously, mix-up by the Jets, and Robinson couldn't get things going, and he was dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Brunig 53, Ed Jones 50, or the 72.
It's supposed to be a handoff. I just think the back blew the play. I think it was supposed to be a handoff to the left side. There goes the official's hat again over here.
I'll tell you, when you really know it's windy is when Tom Landry loses his hat. And that hasn't happened yet. Second down, 15.
Not bad, not
I've
bad.
never seen that happen, as a matter of fact.
He's prim and proper.
On 2nd and 15. Durkee gets it out to the 15-yard line. There's Landry. I don't know. Maybe he's got glue on that thing today. I don't know what's holding it down because that wind is really blowing.
He and Hank Stram. That's a little inside.
A little inside, yes.
You know, you're talking about Scott Durkee carrying the ball right there. This kid is really he came out of Purdue. He's 5'10", 215. He's had a great year this year.
Clark Gaines now comes into the backfield for the Jets, number 21. Gaines, their leading rusher last year. Third down, Jets need 13 for the first down. They're back at their own 15-yard line. 7:25 left in the third period. Again, Robinson under pressure is buried inside the 10-yard line as he goes down at the 7, and Mike Hagman, who's been really all over the place, gets another quarterback sack.
This is what the quarterback is looking at from the line right there. You can see the linebackers lining up to the inside. The games are going on. The pressure is really putting on. Linebacker coming from the left corner over there grabs him.
Well, Randy White has to be credited with at least half a sack in there, too, because he arrived at the same time. So that's the 5th quarterback sack for the Cowboys. Oh, it is cold, isn't it? Chuck Ramsey, 8 yards deep in the end zone. Now he's got the wind at his back.
Shaking his head, too, I'll tell you.
He just did get it out as the Cowboys put on a big rush. It's out of bounds at the 35-yard line of the Jets. And that's where Dallas will take over with 6 minutes and 53 seconds left in the third period here at Shea Stadium. That is right, as a matter of fact. The Cowboys have the football. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line of the New York Jets after that short punt by Ramsey. Dallas leading 10-0. We have not had a score here in the second half of play. Danny White has gone all the way at quarterback. Sends Jackie Smith in motion, gives it to Dorsett. And Dorsett is down to the 32-yard line. Pickup of 3, Joe Pellegrini, number 77, on the stop.
Mr. Pearson comes in for Mr. Dorsett. Preston Pearson, a basketball player. This guy does it all. He never had any football experience whatsoever when he first came to Baltimore. He made great adjustments. He led the league that year with us in kickoff returns. Just a super ball player, a real team player.
You were just happy to get off the kickoff return.
Exactly
of course, they put you in the wedge after they took you off the receiving end of it. Huh? 2nd down, 6. Cowboys at the 31-yard line of the Jets. Nice fake to Newhouse. Danny White underthrows the intended receiver. He had Drew Pearson all alone in the end zone. Preston Pearson was down short, but Drew was 10 yards behind. That thing kind of dropped between the two of them.
That's what they're trying to do, is they're trying to isolate the halfback on linebacker coverage. And you can see Preston coming out of the backfield right here on number 59, breaking out to the outside on a fly pattern, and then it's just a man-on-man, linebacker on halfback. It's what we used to call the old arrow takeoff. How do you like that for having a great memory, huh?
That's great.
I only played it 20 years ago.
3rd down. Cowboys need 6 for the first down at the Jets' 31-yard line. 6 minutes, 5 seconds left in the third period. Danny White from the shotgun. Blitz is on by the Jets. Dorsett, the intended receiver, and we get a flag thrown. Suggs, I believe, Val Schroy was back to number 48, and he and Suggs may have interfered with Dorsett at about the 20-yard line. Let's see. He's going to go against New York.
I thought they had it. He did hit him prior to the ball going up. That was a good call by the officials. Here you'll be able to see it right here. That ball's doing tricks even as coming back.
Interference number 40, 1st down.
Left-hand corner of your screen here, you'll be able to see Randy White. Danny White throwing the ball. Watch Troy come on up, pushes him right there, which you're not allowed to do. Another angle of it right here again. You can see the push from behind on Dorsett.
And that, of course, is an automatic first down as we return to live action. Cowboys have the football at the Jet 21-yard line. There's the book on Danny White so far. Pretty good afternoon under very trying windy conditions. Dorsett trying the left side, gets inside the 20 down to the 17-yard line. Dorsett is slowly but surely moving up on another 100-yard rushing day. Joe Pellegrini making the stop. They'll give Tony 85 for the afternoon. Officials mark the ball at the 17-yard line. 2nd down, 6.
That's a pretty good day's work. Just 22 rushes alone.
What's your high carry in a single game?
I think I had 27 once. That was the highest. But we were sort of more of a passing team.
That yards or carries. Newhouse inside the 15 down to the 13-yard line.
You know how to hurt a guy, Frank.
That must have been the day where all the quarterbacks were out, huh?
That's right.
They had to run the ball that much. Not quite enough for the first down for the Cowboys. Be third down. They need a yard for the first down at the 12. This Dallas offense, last 5 games, and they got things going really in the second half of the Miami game, a game in which they lost. Last 5 games, they have averaged 398 yards total offense per game. And where they've really turned it around is in the turnover department. 5 games ago, they were minus 13 in turnovers, and now they are minus 2. So they've been plus 11 in the last 5 games as Danny White comes over during the timeout for a word with Tom Landry. Now, were you in the cliff diving, or were you in the Mr. Universe
I was in the
competition?
Mr. Universe
I see,
competition.
okay.
You know that.
Time back in. Third down. Cowboys need a yard for the first down. They're at the New York Jets 12-yard line. 4:40 left in the third period. White motioning Jackie Smith to get to the other side. Newhouse gets the call and will be close for the first down at the 11-yard line.
You know, there's an opportunity where the Jets could have jumped off sides again on him, because once you have your hands under that center, he cannot bring them out. That's a movement. And they could have called that a motion, and if they jumped off sides on that, it would have been a 5-yard penalty.
That's going to be close enough for measurement. I don't know why White called that timeout. Apparently, you wanted to argue with Tom Landry about the play. What do you think?
I don't know. I think they had Preston Pearson went in. I think 2 of the backs came out, so I don't think we had enough guys in there. They got it.
First down for the Cowboys at the Jet 11. Last time the Jets were shut out was against Philadelphia in the last game of last year. They were beaten 27-0. They trail here 10-0.
And my boys down in Baltimore are having a tough time with Buffalo at 7-7. Dennis Johnson scored on a 2-yard run. And also got an update on that Saints-Tampa game. New Orleans on top with 10-3 right now. Chuck Muncie just scored on a 21-yard run. Archie Manning's having a great year down there.
White feeding Tony Dorsett, cuts back inside the 10-yard line. Dorsett reaches the 6 before all is said and done. Carrying several Jet tacklers with him. Where Suggs, number 23, made the stop.
You can see how the defensive back looks at the action on the line of scrimmage right here. Just a trap play off tackle right there. Dorsett cuts back up to the inside. Good hit. Put that head down. Again, here's that New Orleans-Tampa score. New Orleans 10, Tampa 3, third period.
Dorsett has 91 yards rushing and 23 carries. Cowboys have to get inside the 1 to pick up a first down. They're at the Jet 6. White giving to Dorsett. We get flags. It is really hard to tell when they throw that flag up in the air if it's a flag or a hot dog wrapper or what it is. Really something. That takes it down to the 2-yard line, but let's see what the penalty is going to be. Illegal motion against Dallas.
I think the Jets might accept that one, put them right back.
Cowboys have been penalized more this afternoon than they have in their recent games. They've done very well in that particular department. Their last 2 games, they've had a total of 4 penalties prior to today. There's Ben Dreith, the referee, walking off 5 yards. And let's see who the culprit was this time.
Offense, illegal formation. Number 70.
Must have been in the backfield.
That's Rayfield Wright, number 70, who apparently thought he was Robert Newhouse.
That Cincinnati game's getting out of hand right now. They're leading Cleveland 24-6.
Penalty moves the ball back to the 11-yard line. Second down. Cowboys need 10 for the first down. They have to get to the 1 to pick up the first. 3 minutes, 15 seconds left in the third period. Dallas has been operating against the wind this entire period. They'll have the wind in the final quarter. Pass intended for Dorsett. He's short of the mark. Can't tell if somebody got a piece of that or not.
Either that or the wind got it.
That's right. Cowboys backup quarterback today, since Roger Staubach is not playing, is Glenn Carano, a second-year man out of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. I could tell before the game, you could tell when Staubach was not going to play because he came out wearing a sweatshirt underneath his jersey. And I've seen him in games where the temperature's been 10 or 15, and he always goes with the short sleeves.
Short sleeve shirt.
Third down, 10 from the 11-yard line. Danny White, good protection. Over the middle, wide open is Butch Johnson, and Johnson is down to the 1-yard line.
And I think he's got enough for the first down.
They needed to get to the 1 to pick up the first down. Let's see where they mark the ball. There we got a flag. Flag thrown in the end zone. There's Ben Dryth, the referee. I don't know what that means.
That's all I know is first down.
All right.
Hunt. Illegal formation. First down.
Did he say illegal
Illegal
formation?
I don't,
Well, that would. I don't know how you could have an illegal defensive formation. Do
I
you?
don't either. That's a good one.
First and goal to go. Cowboys at the 1-yard line, leading 10-0 here in the third period.
Dorsett.
White with the handoff to Robert Newhouse, who plows into the end zone for the touchdown. Well, it's been a while for Newhouse. He scored as many touchdowns in the first 12 games of the season as he scored in the 3 previous seasons combined.
There he is, right up there. Just a quick trap up to the inside. A little sucker play. Watch that guard pull out with Dorsett. Guard coming back to the inside. It's what they call the old sucker.
Dallas 16, the Jets nothing. And Raphael Septien to try the extra point. Victory today would give the Cowboys a 12-4 record and back-to-back 12 victory seasons. That's good, but just barely. That got over the bar by about 2 yards. So Dallas with a fine drive, consuming a lot of time here in the third period, leading the Jets 17-zip. Darnell Powell is deep, along with Bruce Harper as Septien kicks it off. Harper at the 10. And they work the reverse as they give it to Schroy. Schroy is at the 20-yard line, up to the 25. I think we got a flag. Schroy returns it to the 44-yard line. Let's see if we had a marker or not.
I think it might have been a piece of paper again.
Take a look at it.
Here you go. This is the handoff. Coming around the backside.
Ken
Watch
Schroy,
the block
number
right
48.
here up in the corner, your left corner up here. He really gets bavoom.
Nose of the ball is just inside the Jet 45-yard line as we come to live action. Jets trailing 17-0. And Matt Robinson's going to have to go upstairs and does. Nice tip at the last moment by Mark Washington, who tipped it out of the arms of Derek Gaffney.
That was a great
receiver.
Great defensive play. Just tips it. That's a good throw by Matt Robinson, right in the dead spot of the zone. You can see him dropping it right in between.
Robinson is now 4 out of 15 in the afternoon. He's gained 35 yards passing, has thrown 1 interception. Second and 10, Jets at their 44-yard line. Cowboy defense doing a lot of stunning. Sideline throw, and it was Gaffney, the intended receiver. The ball, Gaffney, and Washington all arrived at the same spot at the same time.
Almost took his head off, too. Thrown behind. You got to throw him to the outside, low to the outside.
The Jets, again, keep in mind, have the win with them here in the third period, so they're going to do something. It would perhaps behoove them to put points on the board in this period because they're going to have their work cut out in the last quarter. Robinson over the middle. Aaron Kyle stepped in front of Wesley Walker, the intended receiver, and may have got just a piece of that, enough to throw off Walker's concentration. You know, Walker's an interesting case, and he's got that cataract problem where he is legally blind in one eye.
I'll tell you what, if he's blind in one eye, he sure is catching that ball.
Not that time. Well, Kyle got a piece of it. He did tip it, which makes it a little bit tough.
Got an update on that Atlanta-St. Louis game, and the way Atlanta got back into the ball game was a 100-yard kickoff return by Dennis Pearson.
Ramsey to do the punting, standing on the 30-yard line. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left to play in the third period. Cowboys leading 17-0. Big rush. Got it away. Johnson lets it bounce at the 25. And will roll dead at the 22-yard line. Some of the officials want a roughing the punter call, but they're not getting it. And that's the reason for the boos you're hearing in the background. Cincinnati over Cleveland in the third.
I also have an update on that San Francisco-Detroit game. Detroit just recovered a fumble, ran it back 64 yards for a touchdown. That puts them out in front 27-7 over San Francisco.
Boy, they were impressive against Minnesota, weren't they?
They
That
sure
Saturday
were.
game?
They've got a pretty good coach up there, too.
1st and 10. Joe Thomas doesn't think so. 1st and 10. There's the man who could be the NFL Coach of the Year, or should at least be the NFC Coach of the Year.
That's right.
I would imagine it's between he and Dick Vermeil of the Eagles.
And Vermeil's done a good job. Two good coaches.
Walt Michaels. Robert Newhouse on the carry out to the 26-yard line. Cowboys content here probably to keep it on the ground and let the clock run out in the third period. You know, 6 years ago, a lot of people thought this man should have been named head coach of the Jets. When Weeb Ewbank retired, they decided to bring in Charlie Winter and then Lou Holtz, and he went to Philadelphia and was an assistant on Mike McCormick's staff, and of course came back last year and has done just a great job.
He sure has.
He's tough.
He is. He's a tough man. His brother played with me, old Lou.
Dorsett stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Not the only reason the Jet fans have had to cheer this afternoon is an occasional fine defensive play, such as that one by Lawrence Pillars, number 76, and Larry Keller, number 56. Young Jets defensive unit stopping Dorsett for a loss. That's 24 carries now for Dorsett. He is back to 90 yards on the afternoon.
I
Had a good year, though.
I think the fans here have a lot to look forward to next year with this Jet team. It's young, it's aggressive, and as you said, they've got a great coaching staff. So I think that they're going to. They knocked off some big people this year, and they're only anticipating to win 1 out of 15.
Shotgun, 3rd and 7. Billy Joe Dupree makes the catch at the 40-yard line, loses the football, picked up by Dorsett. He will score. No one will catch him. You talk about the ball bouncing right for you. When you're winning, everything goes right. And the fumble by Dorsett bounced right into the hands of Tony Dorsett, who took it in for the touchdown. 54 yards.
Here it is. Look at this camera work. Great shot. You can see the reception. Dupree goes up, makes a great reception here. Makes a recovery, gets a shot right here. The ball pops out. Now watch how the ball bounces. You're talking about things going wrong for the Jets today. Right up in Dorsett's hands, and he just continues right on down the field. You're not going to catch him.
Dorsett's second touchdown of the afternoon, and the Cowboys have assumed a commanding 23-0 lead with the extra point try to come. There's TD. It is funny, though, like they say, when you're winning, man, and that ball is always bouncing right for you. Last week against Philadelphia, there were 8 fumbles in that game, and Dallas recovered 7 of them.
Jeez.
Snap is fumbled by Charlie Waters, and the extra point try goes awry. Cowboys don't seem too concerned about it at this point with 49 seconds left to play in the third period and leading the Jets 23-0.
You can just see that here again right now. Watch what happens. Great camera coverage right now. Up, grabs the ball, makes a good reception, keeps his balance, drives, tackle made, ball pops out. Watch where it bounces.
That was Dupree's first reception of the day, and he, for the first time, is getting some All-Pro mention this year. He's had a great year, caught 9 touchdown passes himself, and there's not even a wide receiver in the league that can top that mark. But the Cowboys in excellent shape at this particular point, leading 23-0, and will have the wind at their back for the final period coming up.
I think the fans are starting to clear out a little bit after that one. This wind is forcing them home a little bit early.
CBS Sports Spectacular. Don't forget it next Saturday, that touch football game between the 1958 New York Giants and the Baltimore Colts. A lot of the greats who participated in that game. Gifford, Pat Summerall, Bruce Harper out to the 25, to the 30-yard line. Harper is down at the 33. Well, let's see. The Jets last week against Cleveland were 27-10 at the end of the third period. They were down by 17, and they scored 24 points in the final period of play. But I would not make book on that happening against the Cowboy defense. In addition to the touch football game, we have some other things for you on the CBS Sports Spectacular. The world's strongest men competition and some World Cup skiing. All coming your way on the CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday afternoon. Matt Robinson delivers over the middle. Gaffney with the catch at the 50. Mark Washington with the stop at the 45 of Dallas. 25 seconds and counting left in the third quarter.
Matt Robinson sets up again. The pressure, steps to the outside. Beautiful throw. Gaffney wide open, coming across the middle, picks up the first down.
Gaffney's another guy, came out of nowhere. He was a receiver at Florida, played behind Wes Chandler, who was one of the top guys picked in the draft by the Saints. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. I don't think they'll get it off. There's the whistle and the gun signifying the end of the quarter. That's the end of the third period with the score. The Cowboys 23, the Jets nothing. We now pause for a word from your local station. That's the back of Roger Staubach, which is as much as you're going to see of him. New Orleans, Tampa Bay, 10-10. Here's Matt Robinson going for the bomb. Overthrows the intended receiver, Derek Gaffney, number 81. Through 3 periods, Dallas has 265 yards total offense. The Jets have 64. So great job on the Cowboy defense. And
against a doggone good offense.
Yeah.
These guys have been moving the ball all around the league all year long.
2nd and 10. Jets at the 45-yard line of Dallas. Cowboys go with their prevent. Randy Hughes is in there, so is Hagman. Larry Bethea is now at a defensive end, and David Stalls at defensive tackle as Randy White and Harvey Martin are being rescued. Bruce Harper, who's in there running back, looking for an opening. Inside the 40, down to the 38-yard line.
I'll tell you, this little guy, he just stayed behind all those big guys and picked up all he could on it. Watch him coming across. It's just a sweep to the right side. Harper coming across, following his guards.
Guy leading the way, number 66, Randy Rasmussen.
Not a bad guy. He's been around a few years,
too. He played in that Super Bowl, as I recall.
Well, the one that, I don't want to talk about that one. That was one of my best games I ever played in my whole life, and Joe and the boys put it to us.
That's right. 3rd down, Jets need a yard for the first down at the 36-yard line of Dallas. And I believe they got it. First downs have been few and far between. Kevin Long, the Jets' leading rusher on that carry, picking up the first at the Dallas 34-yard line. Jets moving against the wind. Long, second-year man who has put together one of the Jets' best rushing years. Hey, one thing Dallas has done is held Wesley Walker in tow.
That's right, they sure have. We got an update on a Cincinnati game. Cleveland has just kicked a 19-yard field goal by Don Cockcroft, so it's 24-16. That's going into the third period still.
Robinson with a fake to Durking over the middle, and Walker, who's had his problems, that's about 3 he's dropped, really. He's having a tough time. Hands might be a little cold.
I don't like to make excuses. They're supposed to be warm. You can't drop them. They're in his hands. You got to catch it. One of the things that I used to hate to do, Frank, was when I came back to that huddle after dropping one like this, boy, Mr. Unitas, he didn't like it too much. He'd let you know. He'd let you know.
Really?
Oh, boy. He'd say, hey, kid, catch that ball. I ain't going to throw it to you.
2nd and 10 from the Cowboy 34. Robinson, sideline throw. Henderson had it, dropped it.
Had it twice.
All right, let's see if Henderson goes through his act now here. Here's Thomas, getting up a little slow, sulking a bit. Should have had it. Must have been the gloves.
Must have been the gloves. He's taking them off. There he goes right now. Here's Matt setting up, throwing right out to the outside. Steps up, throws that ball, but watch. Steps right up in front. He's got one chance. 2 chances.
That's all you get.
That's all you get. 3, you're out.
3rd and 10. Jets at the Dallas 34-yard line. With the wind blowing against them, they're probably out of field goal range here. Robinson, that's when Walker hangs on to, gets inside the 15-yard line and goes out of bounds at the 11. It'll be a first down for the Jets at the 11-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys.
Here's Matt setting up. Watch Wesley Walker on the left-hand part of your screen when he makes a reception. Let's see if he stays in bounds or the official is right. He just gets that ball off. Breaks back to the outside.
Only a second catch of the day.
Here he goes down the sideline. Now, it's a foot race. I wouldn't want to have to race this man. Oh, there he is right there.
Aaron Kyle diving. Knocks him out of bounds, but the Jets have the first down at the Dallas 11. Harper to the 9, and then he is shoved back. Larry Bethea, number 76, leading the defensive charge. St. Louis has jumped in front of the Falcons.
Yeah, Mr. Hart hit Pat Tilley on a 26-yard pass. It's the end of the second period. It's 21-14.
Our score, Cowboys 23, Jets nothing.
But the Jets are knocking. Down there, they got to score.
Second down. They need 8 for the first down. Ball is at the 9-yard line. Matt Robinson over the middle, touchdown. Bob Brunig trying to stay with Jerome Barkham, number 83, the tight end. And Barkham makes a fine catch for the Jets touchdown.
He sure does. Here's Matt Robinson setting up, looking straight down the middle, steps up inside the pocket, just gets the ball off. Barkham makes a great catch.
Brunig just didn't turn around to take a look-see soon enough. There was a penalty on the play against Dallas, which is declined.
Maybe they're going to have that 24-point period.
They started off pretty good. Touchdown in the first 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Pat Leahy on to try the extra point. That's good. Well, they get that 24 points here in the final period. They could win this game. Who knows? 12 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in the contest. Cowboys 23, Jets 7. That's the story here at Shea Stadium. The time remaining 12 minutes and 40 seconds. Cowboys and the New York Jets. A little bit early, I guess, to try for an onside kick. Cowboys don't expect one. They have their normal complement up at the 45-yard line. I tell you, the sun has disappeared now for the afternoon. It's really going to get cold. Ali Squibb kicks it down the middle. Butch Johnson at the 15, 20. And Johnson is by number 89, Bobby Jones, rookie wide receiver. For the Jets, Dallas will put it in play at the 24-yard line.
These special teams for the Jets are doing a great job today. They're containing some pretty good returners. There's what you call football position and dump them back.
Dallas now with the wind at its back in the final period of play.
Take a look what that official has to do. He's got to keep it between his feet so it don't roll away.
Dorsett and Robert Newhouse still in the backfield. Tony Dorsett, 25, 30, up to the 33-yard line. A pickup of 8 yards on that play. Saints ahead of Tampa Bay in the fourth period. That's down in Tampa.
Archie Manning hit on a 1-yard pass to Henry Childs.
You know, he's had a great year. We've had several of the Saints games, and
right.
I think he's had a sensational year, and he certainly deserves to be the one of the NFC quarterbacks in the Pro Bowl.
I do too. The game that we did down there a couple weeks, about 3-4 weeks ago, New Orleans-Atlanta game, he just played a phenomenal game. Atlanta came out and beat him, though, last minute, last seconds.
Second down, 1. Newhouse tripped up behind the line, breaks a tackle, and did not get enough for the first down. A lot of these folks sticking around to see if the Jets can indeed make a comeback here in the final period of play. Third down now. We could have a little change in momentum. There's Newhouse limping off the field a bit. Maybe that foot's starting to bothering him. Greeted by Ken Locker, one of the Cowboy trainers.
See if we get a chance here to see where he got hit. Boom. He got hit right on
right
that
there,
leg.
yeah, that right shin area. Third down, still a yard needed for the first down. Cowboys at their 34. Dorsett has the first down and some change as he takes it to the 40-yard line. Cowboys keep the drive going and keep the clock moving. Mark Merrill, number 58, making the stop.
That's got to put him over the 100-yard mark right with that carry.
1:05 for Tony Dorsett on 26 carries. There's the time remaining in the football game. Dallas leading 23-7. This would be the Cowboys' 6th straight victory, and I would have to believe they are ready to head into the playoffs. Robert Steele, number 82, rookie wide receiver, has come into the ball game for Dallas on this series of downs. He's flanked off to the left side. Danny White gives to Laidlaw. Laidlaw to the 44. Pick up a 4. It'll be second down and 6 on the play. Laidlaw looks like he may be shaken up a little bit.
Yeah, he's been out of the game off and on all day. And I think that's why they put Newhouse in there. He's been hurting a little bit all day.
Now this is where you really don't want to lose anybody. In the last quarter of a meaningless game, you're ahead by 16 points.
No chances.
Second down, Dallas needs 6 for the first down. Larry Brinson, number 36, has come into the backfield for the Cowboys, coupled with Dorsett. Here's Tony. Caught at the line of scrimmage and pushed back. Klecko, number 73, and Taylor, number 38, on the stop.
The one thing that you don't want to do as a player in a game like this is to let up, though. This is when you can get hurt. You've got to run, you got to play at 100% all the time out there, and if you let up one time, you're in trouble.
You know, Tom Landry is getting cold. He's getting to everybody. First, Lou Michaels came out pretty well bundled up.
Oh, he knows that. You know, he's played in that Cleveland stadium. He knows what kind of a stadium this is.
I knew I'd call him Lou sooner or later. Walt Michaels.
I got you started on that.
Third down and 6, passing situation. White from the shotgun. Trying to set up the screen to Dorsett. Completes the pass, and Dorsett is torn down at the 45-yard line, about at the line of scrimmage. So the Cowboys are going to have to punt it.
Here's an ISO on Dorsett right now. Let's see what he does as far as trying to hide this screen. What he's supposed to do is come back in. What he's doing. Hit somebody. Boom. He should have hit that linebacker, then slid to the outside.
Merrill picked it up pretty quick, number 58.
They sure did. You think these guys aren't strong?
Fourth down. Cowboys need 5 for the first down. Danny White punting with the wind, standing on his 30-yard line. Harper watches it sail over his head, bounces at about the 1-yard line and on into the end zone. And the Jets will put it in play at the 20, following the touchback. 7 minutes, 58 seconds left to play in the football game at a very frigid Shea Stadium in New York. We'll be back in just a moment. Frank Lieber along with Tom Matty, Shea Stadium in New York. As you can see, the lights have been turned on. Jets have the football, 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line, moving against the wind. Here in the final period, trailing 23-7 with 7:58 left to play in the game. Matt Robinson at quarterback, back to throw it over the middle, completes the pass to Gaffney. First down, Jets at the 35. They're coming back.
Gaffney makes a great reception. Ball's thrown behind him. You can see from the ground camera right here. Matt Robinson sets up. Watch where the ball is thrown. Watch how Gaffney comes from the back with a one-handed catch, brings it in. Great reception. First down.
Cliff Harris making the stop for the Cowboys. It's a first down for the Jets at the 36.
Here's another angle of it again. Watch how he goes behind with the one arm, knocks it down to the other one. Good
Again,
reception.
Robinson back to throw. Sideline toss this time is intercepted by Charlie Waters. Waters makes the interception at the 42-yard line. And Dallas gets the football back. That's a big interception for Charlie Waters. It is the 33rd of his career, which breaks a tie with Leroy Jordan, moving Waters into sole possession of 3rd place on the all-time Cowboy interception list.
Jimmy, tell him if you get some of
Cowboys 23 and the Jets 7. Robinson has just thrown his second interception of the afternoon. He's 8 out of 25 for 102 yards. Cincinnati putting it on the Browns in the fourth period.
Mr. Anderson just had a 3-yard run to put him up in front, 31-16 over Cleveland.
Cowboys are down to their third fullback. Larry Brinson is in there replacing Scott Laidlaw, who was replaced by Robert Newhouse, and both were shaken up in the game. I don't know how bad it is. That's Brinson getting the call down to the 39-yard line. Brinson is out of the University of Florida, played football with Derek Gaffney down there, was cut by the Cowboys earlier this year, and then when they needed a running back after the season got underway, they called him back. Picked up 4 on that play. It'll be second down 6. Danny White, 14 out of 23, 147 yards, 1 interception. A very, very fine afternoon under very adverse conditions. Cowboys are at the 39 of the Jets. Dorsett, 30, down to the 25-yard line.
Boy, he's exciting.
I think he's going after that 191 yards between he and Walter Payton this afternoon. He may make a run at it.
He's trying. He breaks one long when he's in there. He's up over 115 yards right now.
As we mentioned earlier, he would need 191 yards rushing to surpass, or actually tie, Walter Payton as the NFC's leading rusher after Payton got 90 yesterday against the Bears. And Dorsett right now has 118 yards rushing. First and 10 at the 25. Brinson to about the 21-yard line.
Got an update on that Cardinals score. They're putting it to Atlanta right now. Jim Hart just went in on a 2-yard run. They're in front now, 28-14 with 7:07 left in the second period.
One interesting thing now is you can start figuring out your favorite NFL team's schedule for next year, because it's pretty much predicated on how the standings finish. And we can tell you what the Cowboys and the Jets are going to do as soon as we have an opportunity here. Second down 6 from the 22 of New York. Brinson to the 20-yard line. The way things stand right now, in addition to their regular divisional foes next year, Dallas would face Pittsburgh, Cleveland, San Francisco, and either Minnesota or Green Bay on the road. And the Cowboy regular season home games next year would include, in addition to the division foes, Houston, Cincinnati, Los Angeles, and the fourth place finisher in the Central, which would be either Chicago, Detroit, or Green Bay. Third down. Dallas needs 5 for the first down at the 20-yard line. We'll give you the Jets here in a moment. Statistics and Danny White on the afternoon. Shotgun formation. Billy Joe Dupree out wide to the right side. Butch Johnson is flanked to the left, almost over his head. Big rush, gets it away. Dorsett at the 15 and out of bounds at the 12-yard line. First down, Dallas. Catches the ball pretty good too, doesn't he?
He does it all. Here he's coming out of the backfield. Watch Dorsett right now. Isolated camera, puts a move on linebacker, breaks to the outside. Defensive back, they had a pass defense in there.
Chasing him down is Burgess Owens, number 22. The free safety of
I
the
even
Jets.
corrected myself.
Did you?
I said it was a linebacker coverage, but it was Burgess Owens, number 22 there. Good move by Dorsett, good hands.
First down at the 11. Dallas knocking on the door once again. Tony Dorsett to the 10, down to the 7-yard line. As far as the Jets schedule next year for you Jet fans, we can tell you that they will be at home against either Green Bay or Minnesota. They'll be home against Chicago. They'll have the Browns in here. Then take on the second place team in the AFC West, and their away games next year will include out-of-conference games, rather division games, Detroit, Houston, either Green Bay or Minnesota, and the third place finisher in the AFC West. So their schedule is still a little bit undetermined depending on the results today. Second down, Cowboys at the 8-yard line of the Jets. They could pick up another first down if they get inside the 1. Brinson inside the 5. Brinson is over. Touchdown.
Great run.
So Larry Brinson with a big spike.
And that really puts the frosting on the cake.
Well, Jets have their bags packed. I think they're ready to leave after the.
I think they'd like to leave right now. We got 3:38 remaining in this ball game.
That sends a few folks to the exits. Larry Brinson scoring for the Dallas Cowboys.
Give that offensive line credit. That's one group of guys that's doing a great job today. They don't get all the credit in the world most of the time because the backs are always getting it, and I know that. Let me tell you, the backs give them credit.
Septien successful on the extra point try, which makes it a 30-7 game. Cowboys leading with 3 minutes and 38 seconds left to play in the game. So Dallas with things very much in control here at blustery Shea Stadium in New York City. And Tom Matte and I will return right after this. Septien ready to kick off with 3:38 left to play. That'll show you what that wind will do for you. About 10 yards out of the end zone, that's all. Almost up into the stands.
We had 65, 75, 85 yards. I'd like to have that for a record for a field goal.
That touchdown by Larry Brinson a moment ago, his second of the year. You might recall he had a 39-yard run against the Redskins on Thanksgiving. Now that's what you call your die-hard Jet fan.
I don't know if I can handle it out there. It's cold enough up there.
1st and 10. Matt Robinson, 8 out of 25, 102 yards. Kevin Long out to the 30-yard line and close to the first down.
I'd like to see Kevin Long break one for a long one here so he gets over that 1,000-yard mark. He's not having too good a day today. That Dallas defense has really contained him. They've done a great job, an outstanding job. They've really come in here, played great. You can see that line right here, the charge.
A lot of second stringers in there now for the Cowboys. Bruce Hunter, the middle linebacker, gets plowed under. Number 57, Dennis Thurman, number 32, another Cowboy rookie, making the stop. Well, it'll be tough to play catch-up, handed the ball off. Dirking out to the 33-yard line.
Got the first down.
Got the first down.
Got some updates on scores here. Detroit 27, San Francisco 14. And also the New York-Philly game. The Phillies putting it to them. Scored another on an 8-yard interception by Frank Linesta. Returned for a TD. So they're winning right now 20-3.
A lot of rumblings that the coaching staff of the Giants will depart soon. That was over everybody's head. In fact, some of the rumblings up here in New York today, one of the rumors in the New York paper had Dan Reeves, the Cowboys offensive coordinator, as a possible candidate for the New York Giants head coaching job.
Well, they've offered Dan a couple of them around the country. I think Atlanta was looking at Danny Reeves when that job was open before Lehman Bennett took it over and has done a great job down there.
Rams talked to him before they hired George Allen. Probably wish they would have talked to him a lot longer.
That cost my old boss, Mr. Rosenblum, a few.
Robinson gets the pass away. Henderson all over the intended receiver, who is Kevin Long, number 33. Long has 40 yards rushing. He needed 86 coming into this game to become only the second runner in Jet history to hit 1,000. 2 minutes and 18 seconds. The wind is blowing. I mean, again, we've had gusts up to 45 miles per hour here, and I'd say a steady breeze of 25 to 30.
Yes.
And temperatures in the 30s.
And the wind chill factor is way down there, brother.
3rd and 10. Intercepted. Thurman. As the pass was intended for Wesley Walker, the Cowboys pull off their 3rd pass interception of the day. There's the rookie, Dennis Thurman, from Southern Cal, being congratulated by his teammates.
And here you can see the quarterback setting up in the pocket, looking to his left side. Walker breaking to the outside right there, slipped a little bit. The ball was completely overthrown.
Cowboys with a first down at the 38-yard line of the Jets. Another angle. Looked like Thurman was the only guy open, as they say, right? Brinson up the middle. Cowboys, of course, have next weekend off as divisional champions, so they'll have 2 weeks to prepare for their first playoff game, which will be Saturday afternoon, December 30th at Texas Stadium. And right now, they don't know who they're going to play. Tom Landry was predicting earlier this week that he thought it would eventually be Atlanta. So we'll have to see how that comes out. 2-minute warning to both benches. We'll be back shortly. Frank Lieber with Tom Matte back at Shea Stadium in New York. Tom has left us and is heading down to the field. If our game ends a little bit early, we'll have a chance to talk to some of the victorious Cowboys. We'll see how he can withstand the wind down in the field, as it is really breezy down there. 2 minutes left to play. Statistically, Tony Dorsett, 29 carries, 121 yards on the afternoon. Danny White, 15 out of 24, 156 yards. Has done an excellent job. Cowboys have finally moved into the plus area in the turnover department for the year. They're now +1 after being -13 as recently as 5 games ago. Dorsett has played the entire ball game with the exception of 1 or 2 plays. That's Brinson to about the 30-yard line. Glenn Carano has come into the ball game on this last series of downs for the Cowboys. Memory serves me correctly, this would be Carano's first appearance in a regular season game in a Cowboy uniform. He was on the team last year, didn't play, and didn't suit up for most games. And he has not seen any action this year. 1 minute, 30 seconds. 3rd down, 3. Cowboys at the 31-yard line of the Jets. Maybe some other statistical notes as we go along here. Carano handing off to Brinson, who carries several Jets with him to the 25-yard line. Robinson 8 out of 28 for 102 yards, 3 interceptions. So you can see the job the Cowboy defense did on him. In the receiving department, it's been pretty much Dorsett's day. 5 catches for 27 yards. There's Glenn Carano, number 2 draft choice of the Cowboys a couple of years ago. University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Ball is at the 26-yard line of the Jets. 1st down for the Cowboys. I'll guarantee you nobody's going to call timeout here. Brinson picking up good yardage again, takes it down to the 20-yard line. And that will probably be the last play of the football game. So the Cowboys will wind up 12-4 on the season. The Jets will wind up 8-8, still their most successful year since 1969, and promise of a bright future. And Dallas seems tuned and ready to go into the NFL playoffs and defend their Super Bowl championship as the 1978 NFL regular season has come to a close at windy Shea Stadium in New York. The final score, the Dallas Cowboys 30 and the New York Jets 7. And we'll be back with more from Shea in 1 minute. Cowboys 30 and the Jets 7. Tom Matte is somewhere down there, and we'll get to him very shortly, but a very impressive win by the Dallas Cowboys as they wrap up another great regular season. 12 victories against 4 defeats. They win an Eastern Division title and are in the playoffs, of course, 12 out of the last 13 years, and that is a record that is unmatched in all of professional football. Danny White, just an excellent job under very adverse conditions, as we said, with the wind blowing, with gusts up to 45 miles per hour here at Shea Stadium this afternoon. White did a superb job quarterbacking the Cowboys, wound up with 15 pass completions and 24 tries for 161 yards, and the issue never seemed to be in doubt as the Cowboys led at halftime by a score of 10-0. Tom Matte is down there somewhere. Where are you, Tom?
I'm down here someplace. Is right. I don't know if we're going to be able to get any type of interview going right now, Frank, but we're going to have some fun trying it anyway. The crowd down here is pretty rough. The crowd is a pretty rough crowd right now, so if we can get some interviews with some of the Cowboys, we want to. Randy White, who's had a great year this year, I hope he's going to be able to come back. So we'll see what happens if we get up there, all right?
All right, good enough, Tom. We'll stand by here. And joining us here in our booth is Tex Schramm, the president and general manager of the Dallas Cowboys. For a team that had nothing to play for today, I would say the Cowboys. You're not cold, are you, Tex?
No, I'm not cold. It's been a very pleasant day.
Sure it has.
No, I'm very, very pleased because this is the way you should finish the season. I'm glad that we've won 6 straight games to close it out. We should go into the playoffs with the proper momentum, and I'm just couldn't be happier with the way they played today because they played with a lot of enthusiasm. It was a time that they could have gone out and just gone through the motions, but they didn't. And that's the mark of a team that has a lot of ambition.
White impressed me. For guys throwing only 10 passes this year, with the wind blowing as it did, he ran that team and he looked like he was really the boss out there.
Well, he has a lot of poise. I think that's one of the things that's going to mark his future, is that he has a great deal of presence of mind. He's intelligent. He knows how to utilize his football players. He knows how to utilize his runners and his backs, and he's a very, very much more experienced than his playing time would indicate.
We saw Laidlaw go out, and we also saw Robert Newhouse go out. We never got any word that was there anything to speak of, or?
No, I don't. Not from what we've learned down there. I think that they just took them out just not to risk any further injuries, particularly since the other ones were playing well. We didn't have any halfbacks. We had to leave Tony Dorsett in till the very end. But I think that we're going to be just about 100% healthy for the playoffs, and that's the way you want to be.
29 carries for 121 yards for Dorsett. Pretty good way to finish up the season.
Well, I'll tell you, I thought he was going to bust one 2 or 3 times. It looked like he was just a trip or a hand away. He's going to be a real asset to this football team for many years because he gets that tough yardage as well as getting the long ones.
Isn't it strange, though, as we were remarking up here, the way when you're winning, everything seems to work right, and even on Dupree's reception, he fumbles the ball in one hop right to Dorsett.
Well, we were talking, at the first half of the season, when things weren't going so well and everybody was saying, what's wrong with the Cowboys? Well, at that period, it seems that when you're not playing well, the ball does bounce the wrong way for you. It doesn't bounce right. And the last half of the season, things were bouncing, and this was a good example of it. I thought Danny White did 2 or 3 things that were unbelievable when he should have had a punt blocked and held it and got it away. And when the ball went over his head and he pulled that play out, he almost got caught for a safety. He's just got real, as I said, great presence of mind.
One statistic I know you have to be proud of. This, of course, is the Cowboys' 20th game, counting 6 exhibitions, and I don't know if they keep records on this, but you may be the first pro football team to ever sell out all 20 games, both at home and away. That's one that can't be topped anyway.
No, that's I think that is kind of unusual. We're trying to check if there are any statistics that show that, and but we're very proud of it because it means that it's easy to sell out your home games, but when you sell out all of the road games, particularly even during preseason, that means that there's a lot of folks around the country that like you.
Well, when you have a dynasty, Tex.
I'm not going to say that word. You said that word.
If you get to the Super Bowl, win it again this year, I mean, the way things have gone this season?
Well, if we can follow through and do what we should do in the playoffs, I'll reserve what I'll say.
Thank you very much, Tex.
Okay, back live in New York. We were delaying for just a moment so we could hook up with the Jets and the Dallas Cowboy audience. And, of course, all those Cowboy fans were listening to Tex Schramm, who was praising his franchise. And look at the final score. 30-7 with Danny White at quarterback. Those of you who watched the game, you realize that White pulled one superb play on a punt when he got into trouble and finally got it off under pressure. Okay, another final is in 20-3. Philadelphia beats the Giants. Need help out on the coast now. If the Packers or the Vikes lose, the Eagles are going back to the playoffs. So we welcome that audience. Also, the crowd that has been watching Tampa Bay against New Orleans. Let's check in on some highlights right now. Let's start with the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Jets. The wind was gusting out at Shea Stadium this afternoon. Tony Dorsett scored the first touchdown for the Cowboys, weaving his way up the middle, 7-0 on the extra point. Now, Irv, here's Aaron Kyle on a key defensive play.
What a big afternoon he had. That's the second key play he made in the first half. He had an interception, and that one, of course, is a fumble recovery.
Now, Danny White hitting Butch Johnson right here.
You know, the Cowboys are so darn deep. When everybody heard they weren't going to start some of their starters, they felt, well, maybe they'd take a day off. Not so. Look at this guy.
Robert Newhouse returns from that slightly fractured leg, obviously. Danny White now looking for Billy Joe Dupree. On the fumble, it was picked up right there by Dorsett, who went all the way for the touchdown. Matt Robinson, the man who replaced the injured Richard Todd. Here he is coming out, looking for Jerome Barkham for the score, and the Cowboys go on to win it easily by a score of 30-7.